closes the game and just was lights out. Gave up the one single, struck out 7, and was in command the entire time.
Well, that is the 8th straight home series Texas has won, dating back to 2018. It's been almost one physical year, guys, since Texas has lost a series at home. And Ben, when you look at that scenario, we talked about it a little bit there in the 9th. For the Tigers, this is an opportunity tomorrow. They need to come out with some urgency, I think, in tomorrow's ballgame.
No doubt. They need to be aggressive. I think the offense, it can be more productive at the bottom. Again, the top's doing their thing. Can you get production 7, 8, 9 for this Tiger lineup? And they're going to lean hard on Eric Walker. You know, he was the Sunday guy 2 years ago. He really carried it low and let the load when Lang and Poche struggled that year. He was really good. He was a fresh All-American in everybody's publication. Although he's probably only going to go 50 or 60 pitches, they need him to put some zeros up early because Texas has struck early in these first 2 ball games. So they need to get a little momentum and let the offense hopefully score first of that game tomorrow.
Final score here, 8-4. Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it. We'll see you here tomorrow. Don't forget, 1 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time, right here on LHN. Goodbye from Dish Falk Field, the eyes of Texas. Programs amongst the top of the college baseball elite, seamlessly woven together throughout college baseball history. Each team with 6 national championships.
That's it! LSU wins it! The Texas Longhorns as college baseball's national champions, like the Tower Orange.
A lineage of legendary coaches and baseball greats, all who have paved the way for those who step on the field now. The legacy, their tradition, the excellence continues. Third and final game of this 3-game set, and we're talking frigid conditions. Wind chills in the 30. LSU and Texas. Texas with a 2-0 lead in this series. But weather will be a factor. This breeze is blowing today. How did we get here on Friday night? Bryce Elder and Duke Ellis shine for Texas as they come up. Ellis with a 2-run homer. Elder pitches an outstanding game. Yesterday, Texas pitching with 13 punch-outs, led by Barrett Henley, who had 6, and Cole Quintanilla, who had 7 to close it out at the end. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to UFCU Dish Falk Field. I'm Keith Morrow, along with 2 of the best players in college baseball history, Ben McDonald, Greg Swindell. Greg, when you look at Texas and what's going on, Duke Ellis has been really good this week.
He's been really good. 2 hits, the big home run Friday night to put Texas in the lead 3-1. But more impressive to me has been his ability to get on base. He's seeing a lot of pitches at the plate. 5 walks in the series, leads the Big 12 in walks on the season, setting the table for Texas. And on the flip side, Ben, LSU looking to get something out of the bottom of that lineup.
Yeah, speaking of cooling off, these Texas pitchers has really slowed down a high-powered LSU offense. 1 through 4 in the lineup for LSU have been reasonably productive, guys. But if you look at 5 through 9 in these first 2 games, 0 for 32, and you see Chris Reed's going to get an opportunity over at third base. The senior got a couple of hits and a couple of pitch hitting appearances.
Coming on as a pinch hitter.
So Paul Maneri is just trying to ignite the bottom part of this LSU offense.
Well, you look at that at the top. It's been very good, Ben, just like you said, at the top of this lineup. The guy for me is Duplantis. He has not really gotten off. He has been a really good player to start the season.
Yeah, no, he really has. He's driven in 23 runs, one of the best in the nation at doing that, but only 1 base hit in this series, and he had some opportunities, Keith, with runners in scoring position in game 1 and just couldn't come through. So it's going to have to be a complete effort for LSU offensively 1 through 9.
Yeah, you look at it, freshman right-hander Corey Cobb. What can you tell us about it, Zeke?
Corey Cobb, the freshman, trying to build off that first start, low 90s fastball, plus changeup, a real loose, fresh arm for the freshman. Looks like to me going to have a cold arm out there too. Sleeveless as Coy Cobb.
He's a little tougher than I am. Now that's a question I'd ask both of you. Was it a difference that you have a way you were going to pitch regardless what the temperature was, or would you wear sleeves when it was cold?
I wore sleeves. If it was cold, I had sleeves on.
This cold. And more so not the cold, the wind. The wind today is what will just bite right through you.
Josh Smith has had a good series as he steps in here. He's been one of those guys that's been told you the top of this order. These first two guys have done their job. He's been really good at short as well. On the ground foul. Guys, this is not a day when you get to home plate. It's like playing at Wrigley in April. The wind is blowing in off that lake. It's cold. You don't feel good. Your eyes are watering because the wind's blowing, gusting up to 25 miles an hour.
Well, you said it best earlier. The happiest people in the field, the pitcher and the catcher, the guys that are moving the most.
Got it by him inside for the strikeout.
Coming out early is Coy Cobb and locating that fastball. Ties up Josh Smith right there. A pretty good hitter. Really good hitter.
Yeah, that was perfectly placed fastball. I mean, a lot of college hitters taught to wait a little bit with 2 strikes. Got to respect the off-speed stuff. And boy, right on the inside part of the plate was Cobb with that one.
All right, guys. I know y'all used to do it to me. It's cold. You pitching into the handle because you don't want to get jammed on a day like today. I mean, let me ask you, are y'all thinking about that, pitching inside, more inside today?
With this wind, you never want to elevate the ball, but today you want to make them hit the ball in the air, keep it off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I still think you pitch to your strengths and what you do the best as a pitcher. But having said that, when you get a ballpark like this and the wind blowing in.
To third, Reynolds, long throw, scoop by Tate Shaw, who is just learning the position, hadn't played a lot of first base. That's a nice pick right there.
That's one thing today, being in the field, you got to keep your legs moving, you got to keep your arms moving, because that wind can tighten you up in a hurry. That right there looks like just short-armed it, but a really good scoop over there at first by Tate Shaw.
Duplantis will step in. Senior from Lafayette, outstanding player. He's been held in check in this series. The one place in this ballpark, guys, that you can get the ball out of the ballpark today is right down that right field line. You'll get just a little bit of help. So the left-handed hitters have that opportunity if they can get some. So up and out over the plate, hit it to center all you want.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. As a pitcher, in these kind of conditions, I want to be aggressive in the zone. I'm going to be as aggressive as I can because you can't really get hurt a ton.
There it is. That's a one shot down the line. This is home run distance, but hook foul.
You saw how much it carried right there.
Yeah, but them left-handers, like you said, if they can pull it, they're going to have to pull it up almost towards the gap and let it ride the wind a little bit.
Yes, sir. Flag is whipping. I tell you what, these fans, and almost a sellout again today, and there's a lot of them here. Good changeup right there. Pulled the string, and the count evens.
He's got a good
They're
one.
bundled up.
He's got a plus changeup for Coy, and the ability right now, early in the game, to throw it behind in the count.
Fastball back inside, tied him up, and the count evens.
Well, you talk about success breeds success. You know, Elder and Blair Henley for the Horns, really 2 really good starts. Now you got a young Coy Cobb out there thinking, hey, I see the first 2 guys do it. I can do it too.
The payoff. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. Ripped right field, hooked foul.
Little 3-2 changeup, huh? So you
that?
get a 2-1
feel for
changeup.
it.
And now back to a 3-2 changeup.
Especially a day like today where it's going to be tough to get a grip on the ball with the wind.
Yeah.
Tough to get a handle on that baseball.
3-2 again. Right now, you got a senior, a veteran hitter that's squaring some balls up. Now, he's not got one in play yet.
Well, he looked bad on that 2-1 changeup. You know, first one he ever saw from Coy Cobb, but he made an adjustment on the 3-2 changeup. Hit it hard, just foul.
Misses inside. That was a big-time at-bat right there.
Yeah, that's a senior at bat. That's a guy that's been a starter ever since he stepped on campus. Seen a lot of pitches in his days.
Daniel Cabrera will step in, sophomore. Hometown boy from Baton Rouge. Outstanding player with big-time power. Throw over.
Throws on line. He gets him right there. That's a quick move. It's one thing for right-handed pitchers. You got quick feet. You got a chance to get yourself an out right there.
That was quick again right there.
Being an athlete on the mound, it can mean so much in so many different ways. First of all, you can field your position, but if you got the quick feet and you're an athlete, you can keep runners a little closer to the
Keep
bag.
talking, keep talking.
It all matters.
He's going to open
It all
his mouth
matters.
in a minute. He's going to open his mouth in a
He's
minute.
bouncing around like he wants something. He got something to say about that.
Athlete, you pitch. Y'all get paid all the money, pitch and work every 5 days. The rest of us are playing
Hey,
are out there every
That's why we
day.
make the most money, because we're the athletes.
You had your chance.
Okay.
You should have pitched.
I understand.
I think Duplantis just got hit somewhere in the back of
Yes,
the
he
neck
did.
on that.
That will not feel good.
That was a bad, a wild throw by
I mean,
Cobb.
caught him in the back of the helmet. You can see as he lays out right here and catches him, I mean, right underneath maybe the
back
of the helmet and the neck.
That ball was sure to get down the line, and the helmet's the only thing that kept it in front. It hit him.
This is not a day you want to get hit.
No, you never want to get hit there, but especially today. You see where he's.
You look at, this is not a good delay for, this is not one of those things you want to do as a pitcher, is be stuck out there. Yeah, I would think they would allow him to throw.
Antwon Duplantis comes from a very athletic, a track family. We talked about that earlier.
yeah.
His little brother's a freshman at LSU, guys. Armando Duplantis, they call him Mondo, just set the NCAA record last weekend at LSU in the pole vault, 19 feet 5.5 inches.
I mean, he's going to be an Olympian.
Yeah,
At-
I mean,
at 20.
He held the world record, they told me, at 15, 16, and 17 years old in the world. And what he jumped as a 17-year-old would have actually won the bronze medal at the last Olympics.
So you got people with sport courts or batting cages. You say they got a pole vaulting.
Yeah, the Duplantis have a pole vaulting pit in their backyard over in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Don't see that too often.
Quickly 0-2 to Cabrera. Just misses outside with a heater.
I like that pitch, though. 0-2. Have you catch it? You can see McCann just kind of rocked over just off the outside corner. Pitch delivered right there.
The 1-2. Misses inside. The count evens.
Tried to pick for a couple pitches right here. Now you got to go right
Yeah.
after.
Throw over. Antwon back safely.
Yeah, as a pitcher, that's where you want to make it happen. Those 2-2 counts for me is I want some action. That's an action count for me.
Got him. Got him out in front. Second strikeout for Cobb. We go to the bottom of the first.
I do. I love the patty melts. I guess when that craving hits you, boom, I need to have a patty melt. I'm traveling a lot. I had to make a connection into Houston. Had about an hour. Whataburger just opened at Terminal B. Grabbed my patty melt, started rushing it back. The lady was just closing the door. She goes, I'll go ahead and get you on the plane if you're willing to give up your Whataburger. And I told her, can you book me on to the next flight? And I was late for work, but it was worth every bite. I don't think anything tops patty melt. You gotta have it.
I'm Britton Griffith. I am a father, husband, and we have 4 beautiful girls. They are the joy of our lives. My wife and I had a dream and plans to find a place where we could build a lake and raise our kids. So we worked with Capital Farm Credit together, and we were able to make our dreams really come true. You feel like you are all working together towards the same goal. Capital Farm Credit came alongside and made it happen.
Let's look at the Texas lineup under the direction of David Pearson. His 3rd year as a head coach. His lineup looks much like it has all weekend long. Tate Shaw, again, Zeke in this lineup.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, right here, Tate Shaw hit his way into the lineup last weekend and been swinging the bat well. But again, you got to look at that table setter up there at the top with Duke Ellis. Been getting on base a lot.
And you look at that, this is not the normal Sunday guy. Ben having to go really into the depths of their club to find a Sunday starter.
Yeah, but it's a pretty good guy. You pull from the depths of that club. A guy, Eric Walker, who was a freshman All-American in every publication 2 years ago in the weekend rotation for LSU. Tommy John surgery last year. He sat out the entire year. Not a power guy. A lot like Greg Maddox, guys. He's going to pound the strike zone if he's on. Fastball 84 to 89, but he can throw that breaking ball and that changeup just about any count. So he really goes out and pitches. He's only making his second start of the year, his third appearance. So he's working his way up. I don't think LSU's going to get more than about 45, 50 pitches out of him.
Well, you're bringing these guys back. Does the weather have a factor in this? Because it is a cool day, that may limit the number of pitches he'll go?
There's Jayden Hill right there, who has been the sunny start of the first 2 weeks for LSU. Been outstanding, but a little bit of a sore shoulder, so Walker's in there. But yeah, to answer your question, you know, I think you got to be careful with it. I think Eric Walker knows what he's doing, you know, and I think the trainer knows what they're doing. So they're going to keep an eye on him, let him work. All indications he feels great. I mean, he's coming back from Tommy John. The arm feels great. He just doesn't have the snap on the breaking ball yet, and the location's not been what it was 2 years ago. But for the guys, it takes a little bit of time.
Duke Ellis will step in. He's been outstanding at reaching base in this ballgame. Also has a big blow. Fastball in there for a strike. 2-run shot Friday night, the 4th inning. Gave Texas 3-1 lead. Went on to win the game 8-1. The 0-1. Inside, and the count evens.
You can already see, like you were talking about, first pitch corner away, second pitch inside.
He really, when he gets it going, the mechanics are good, nice and fluid. He can spot it up. So that little changeup right there, it's a good one. And he's got 2 different changeups, guys. They're both the circle change. One he kind of turns over a little bit more, so he uses one as a strikeout, swing and miss pitch, and one's just kind of a get me over type changeup.
The 1-2. Upstairs, and the count evens. Walker's 2-2 delivery. Fouled away. As we mentioned, with the temperature and everything else in this breeze, the 2 guys that are the warmest are the pitcher and the catcher. If you're in the outfield right now, you really got to mentally stay in the game.
Well, Daniel Cabrera, first 2 games of this series in left field, playing almost to the warning track right now, just beyond the infield in left field, not very far out there.
Got the fastball by him for the first out, and that brings Kennedy to the plate. Eric has had a good series, freshman from Tampa. Squares the butt, bunts it. That's a little bit early for me, guys. It just drag is you can't get to, you can't get around that early. You're giving away a lot right there.
Well, I figure they may test the senior Chris Reed over at third base, who's getting a spot start. Matter of fact, first start of the season for Chris Reed. He's got a few pinch hit appearances along the way, but
the 0-1. Fastball. Great location right there. Quickly, it's 0-2. You're not going to do, on a day like today, you're not going to do much with that baseball right there.
No.
You hit it as hard as you can to center, it ain't going far. On the ground, unassisted, 2 quick outs for Walker. That brings Austin Todd to the plate. Todd in the series is 2 for 7. He's driven in a couple of runs. Junior from Round Rock. First breaking ball we've seen, the 2 left-handed hitters. Evens the count. You know, when you come into this game, for Texas, we're looking at, you've won the series. You can't get complacent. On the other side, as we talked about at the end of last night's game for LSU, you want to come in here and get one.
Oh, absolutely.
This is sort of a survival game.
You know, and it reminds you of what SEC play is going to be, because when you start going on the road at Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Arkansas and Vanderbilt and teams like that, I mean, sometimes the difference in winning and losing and getting in the NCAA playoffs at the end of the year is that Sunday game after you've lost the first two. Can you find a way to win? And
David Pierce, excuse me.
We talked about that. I mean, it means so much, because you start to find out what your club's made of, because LSU's just gotten punched in the mouth. I'm going to be honest with you. The pitching has been worse than awful, and, you know, we're going to see what they can do today.
So David Pierce preaches to this Texas team is those midweek games and the Sunday game.
Yeah.
They add up towards the end of the year.
Well, the truth of the matter, all the kids say they want to play pro ball and they want to play at the next level. Well, college kids, it's a busy schedule, but you're only playing 4 to 5 games a week. You got to find a way to get mentally amped up for every game to keep your competitive levels up. You know, I mean, because look, they don't understand what they get. How many young guys go play pro ball for the first time and come back and go, oh my gosh, we play every day. Yeah, welcome to pro baseball. And so this is a good test for you. Do you really want to be a pro guy? Well, this is what it's all about.
Fly balls are going to be an adventure. This is going to drift into the stand. Folks, that ball moved 60 to 70 feet right.
That ball went straight in the air, and it was a straightaway right field. I mean, and it ended up carrying all the way over into the bleachers, into the stands down the right field line.
Longhorn fan? No. How about Carolina? Tar Heels. Coach Mac Brown, now the head football coach of North Carolina. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Downstairs, ball 4. You know, I've said many times, guys, that hitting's contagious. Can the inability to throw strikes be contagious?
I think for young guys it can be, you know, and you know, you see walk after walk after walk, because you know what Paul Maneri and pitching coach Alan Dunn's harping to is, pitch, guys, throw strikes, throw the ball over the plate. Come on, we can't walk as many guys. So then it really gets in the back of your mind. You start trying to do a little bit more than what you're really capable of doing. And it can snowball on you. And I think that's what's happened to LSU in these first 2 games.
Zach Zubia steps in. First pitch downstairs. Well, I just look. You just look at the weekend, and there's the numbers right there, Ben. And
yeah,
you can't live with that.
LSU, the few times they have gotten ahead, they've not been able to finish. You know, and you know, it's a big concern for Paul Maneri's bunch. I mean, if you looked at the numbers, I looked in the SEC numbers. LSU, the most walks in the SEC as a pitching staff, the 2nd fewest strikeouts, and really pitching was supposed to be one of the strengths for the Tigers this year.
This is upstairs, and it's 2-0, and it. I mean, this is a day that if you can pitch in the upper part of the zone and get guys to hit it in the air, there's outs in the air today.
Absolutely. This is a young man here, though. Wind or no wind.
Well, he's got good power to right center, and that's where you got to go today. Good pitch there. Knee-high outside corner. Count goes 2-1.
Wind was blowing last week against Purdue, and he did hit one in that gap, and it carried all the way over to the light pole in right field, where the right fielder caught it right up against the wall.
Todd with a good lead. Not going. Off speed downstairs. That makes the count 3-1.
It's funny talking to some of the players during batting practice, because the weather is going to have a factor in this game. Like Duke Ellis, he's like, I don't really like to wear sleeves when I play, but he goes, I think today I might have to.
Oh, yeah.
And same with Zach Zubia. He was like, I don't normally wear them. But
yeah, Zubia was out in no sleeves at all.
Wynn really got a hold of this, pushing this. It's going to be a difficult play. Broussard makes that play. That was not as easy as he made it look right there.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on game plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
This is hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
Baby, we came here to win.
The eyes of Texas are upon Longhorn Extra this week.
I promised myself when I stepped on campus I'll do everything I can to help win a Big 12 championship or a national championship.
Me being back on the court will motivate the guys to want to play harder.
Go beyond the 40 acres for the stories you need to hear about the people who make Texas great.
It's something positive to do for the black community and young girls watching the game.
Longhorn Extra this week, Thursday at 7 on LHN.
View of Lady Bird Lake, downtown Austin, on what is a cool and overcast day, no question about it. This is a day when you like to be the pitcher and catcher because you're the only one warm. The rest of them are around the heater if they can be close to one, because there are heaters in the ballpark. You can see it. They got their own fireplace they brought with them. Checking it out at the tennis center. Fans are covered up.
Blankets and all. I feel like we're kind of up in like a deer stand or a duck blind. We got some heaters down here on the floor. We got our beanie caps on.
Misses outside. Gate steps in, squares to bunt, out in front of the plate. Guy's got some pop. He's trying to put the bunt down.
Well, they got the shift on is what it is, so he sees that left side over there. I mean, he sees it wide open. He said, look, all I got to do is just push one right past the pitcher towards third base, and I got to stand up, just kind of walk it on in the first base. But he's got to do a little bit better job at that, but that might be something that this is going to be a constant thing in the shift. He may start working on bunting a little bit.
Good change right there. And it's 1-2.
That one had a little depth to it.
On the ground, Shaw has it. Gets to the bag. Ben, you talked about it. Other than Chris Reed coming to the plate here, who came on as a pinch hitter last night, this part of the order has really struggled this weekend for the Tigers.
No doubt. You know, and Chris Reed's a senior guy and started a couple years for the Tigers, and it did pretty well, and then got kind of covered up last year, didn't get many opportunities, but he's a guy that's, when he's got limited opportunity this year, he's done well, and Paul Maneri's going to give him a shot at third base today.
I know as a pitcher and a fielder, the conditions holding a baseball can be tough, but as a hitter, sometimes that pine tar will get too cold and slippery, won't it?
Yeah, you know, with the leather that they have on the bottom of the handles of the bats, not near as bad as a wood bat. A wood bat can get slick. There is no question when it's cool. This on the ground. Hibbler able to make the play. I don't think it's as bad with the leather wraps now at the bottom of aluminum bats.
I'm noticing a lot of big league guys are starting to put those leather wraps even on their wooden bats too, you know.
That made me think when Reed, he was really trying to get that pine tar on that glove.
Yeah, he could tell he wasn't feeling good. So Saul Garza steps in, sophomore from Edinburgh, Texas. Designated hitter.
This is one of the guys that Paul Maneri and them were very high on as he transferred in as a sophomore from junior college. Hit 23 home runs in junior college last year, and they thought they were going to have him a big bat, and most people think they still will.
Towards center, Ellis coming on, makes the sliding catch. 1-2-3 go the Tigers in the second. 0-0 as we go. Ellis reading this off the bat, doing a nice job. Makes the play.
When it comes to reaching goals or realizing dreams, we're here to help you gain the confidence you'll need to succeed. UFCU. Invest in yourself.
You can talk a big game. You can say we're nothing special. that we don't have what it takes. You can say we're not big enough, not fast enough, not strong enough. You can say you'll beat us in our house, that we're overrated. You can say a lot of things, but there's only one thing for sure. Actions speak louder than words.
DJ LeMahieu, fastball line down the left field line into the corner, and it's tied. LeMahieu comes through. Go to the 11th inning, tied at 6. Breaking pitch hit to center field. LSU takes the lead. In the air to deep right, a 3-run bomb. That's it. LSU wins it.
Well, these two programs between them, 6 national championships apiece. You can see some of the current major league players played each of those respective schools. Some pretty good names right there.
Yeah, big time.
Was that Nolan that finished that game right there?
No, that was...
That looked like that sweeping slider he had.
He does have one just like that. That was Lewis Coleman.
That's what I thought. I was going to say Coleman, but wasn't sure.
Because it was Workman in that one right there, coming in extra innings. Normally a starting pitcher.
Ryan Reynolds will lead it off. First pitch misses upstairs. Reynolds, Shaw, and McCann here. 0-0. We play in the bottom of the second. Win is not letting up, folks. It's
here to stay.
It's here to stay. Ripped down the left field line, slicing foul. You know, you see these two teams, guys, they've won 6 national championships apiece. You obviously know the burnt orange, but the other thing is, I mentioned to you, Ben, this uniform that LSU's wearing today is an iconic uniform to me. You instantly know that it's LSU when you see this uniform pattern.
No doubt. I mean, LSU's had the gold uniforms for a long time, and typically it's their Sunday, what they call their championship gold. And you're right. When I see that burnt orange, I know it's Texas, and when that typical gold comes out there, you don't even have to look. You know it's an LSU type color.
Down the right field line, everything hooking going down that line. We've had 3 or 4 balls I think would have stayed fair.
I did a Southland game a few years ago in that Southeastern. They started their solid gold Sundays where the pants and everything. Called it Solid Gold Sunday.
The 1-2. Off the end of the bat.
Won't be easy. Yeah, stayed up there.
Duplantis able to make the play for the first out of the inning. That'll bring Tate Shaw to the plate. This is one where you don't want it off the end of the bat, even with aluminum. You can see right there Reynolds with his hands. You catch it out on the end, it's got a little sting to it.
Well, and both of these pitchers so far have shown you an outstanding changeup. So, you know, you're going to see a few balls off the end of the bat.
Just missed outside. Smooth. You can just see that. Walker is very smooth. Every pitch looks identically the same coming out of his hand.
I think the analogy to Greg Maddux was spot on.
Yeah, he did. I mean, just how he pitches, and you know, and he's one of those kids. Even when he was a freshman 2 years ago, just never got really upset about anything. Just even keeled and went about his business, no matter what the situation was.
Well, you kind of have to be with the stuff that he has, and that's nothing against him.
Right.
You can't go outside yourself, try to throw harder or try to make it better. You just throw with what you have.
That's a great point. And for a young guy that stepped on campus, you know, he understood what he did well and didn't try to do anything other than that. And it worked for him.
The 1-2 to Shaw.
I thought the greatest thing that I've heard, and it came from Greg Maddux, because when guys get in trouble, a lot of them try to throw harder. I just tried to locate better.
Right, that's right. Mike Flanagan used to tell me that all the time. He said, try easier.
Yes,
now, that never computed with me for a long. Try easier. I was like, what are you talking about? You know, I got runners on second and third here and one out. And you're saying try easier, and what he meant was take a little bit off.
You're not going to squeeze anything out of that ball. But
and I think a lot of times that just comes with some experience and being around the game and putting yourself in that situation enough times to figure out a way to get out of it.
Hit pretty well to right, but playable. Duplantis under. This ball drifts all the way to foul territory for the second out of the inning.
That's something with this wind for outfielders. You can't drift on it because it's going to continue to move on you. You gotta go with it.
So Michael McCann will step in.
Walker, I'm looking at Walker. Remember Kevin Tapani?
Yeah.
That side angle looked just like Kevin Tapani.
Fastball catches the corner. And it's 0-1.
Right there.
It's the first time we've seen really the curveball's been more of the cutter or slider. 1-1 delivery. Hit on the ground hard. Broussard has it. And 1-2-3 goes Texas. Here in the second, through 2. 0-0.
Casserole again. Yay.
Cooking for everybody is hard. Mama Foo's is easy. Visit mamafoo's.com to get the app and order now.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on Game Plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
This is hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
Baby, we came here to win.
The eyes of Texas are upon Longhorn Extra this week.
I promised myself when I stepped on campus I'll do everything I can to help win a Big 12 championship or a national championship.
Me being back on the court will motivate the guys to want to play harder.
Go beyond the 40 acres for the stories you need to hear about the people who make Texas great.
Something positive to do for the black community and young girls watching the game.
Longhorn Extra this week, Thursday at 7 on LHN.
I tell you what, you want to get warm? That's how to get warm.
Yeah.
Now that's
He's flossing. He's flossing.
Doing
The
a
Tiger's
little flossing
flossing.
and keeping the wind off his face and doing a little dancing.
Not a bad idea to stay warm right there.
In the 30s with wind chill as we go to the top of the third.
And he took it off.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he can't see out of it.
That's a good point.
Cobb out for his third inning of work. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Tigers. Brock Mathis, sophomore from Ohio. It's been really good behind the plate in this series. Again, this ball in play will be out of play when it comes down. You got to be leaning, guys. You got to be leaning to right. Everybody's got to be playing everything in that direction.
10th straight strike for Coy Cobb right there. In first inning, he had 22 pitches, 10 balls. Second inning, 9 pitches, only threw 1 ball.
The 0-2 misses outside.
Jinx.
That's the one thing I look at for young pitchers. I always go down to the walks. I want to see how they command the strike zone. That's what caught me about Coy Cobb going out. I saw he only had 2 walks, you know, in 10 and the third innings pitch. I knew he was a strike thrower right away.
Those came in his first start. Last start, 7 innings, no walks.
Didn't walk anybody.
Well, hitting, I say it all the time, but it is. And you watch the guys who do his rhythm and timing, and his changeup sets everything up for him.
Yeah, I mean, his ability to speed the bat up because the fastball's enough on it, then a really good changeup. Boy, that hurts. Like the catcher for Texas, McCann caught one right off the arm, top of the shoulder.
A couple Duplantis getting hit. You know, that's going to hurt on a warm day. And now on the shoulder from McCann.
Yeah, guys, but the worst of all is that one off of your toe today. Where you just when you foul it off your foot or your toe, oh, it barks on a day like today. You can see Mathis with that cover on that front foot right there. Back up the middle. Hibbler, it's going to be a tough play. Can't get it done. Hibbler did everything he could do. First hit of the ball game by either club, and a leadoff base runner for LSU.
Well, I thought this ball was through from the beginning. This infield a little bit slower than most, and I tell you what, Hibbler does a nice job of staying in. Watch him range to the backhand side, quickly gets it in across the body, but Mathis just beats it out over at first base. Mathis gets down the line pretty good for a catcher. For a big
sure
guy.
Did. You could smell that base hit right there, though. That's what you do as a hitter, too.
That's
you
right.
can smell it.
When the batting average is not where you want it to be and you get a chance, you got a little extra giddy up. Boy, good read there.
Taking advantage of the wild pitch.
Well, I think Michael McCann thought he was going to bunt that ball. Ball really ran in, and Michael just not able to keep the glove on it.
I promise you, he's going to be bunting it now.
It's only the 5th time in the series that the Tigers have had the leadoff base runner reach base of an inning. That's going to be a pass ball.
It almost looked like it crossed him up, but I think he thought he was really going to bunt that pitch and gave up on it.
Squares to bunt, bunts it foul. The count evens. You want this down the third baseline, guys, and make Ryan Reynolds fill this bunt.
Talked about in the open, Ben, that the bottom of the order without a hit. Well, there's your hit, and now you've got a guy in scoring position.
Yeah, can you get him now? You know, get him over, get him in. Been around a long time. Can LSU get the bunt down and put a runner at third base, less than 2 out? Don't need a base hit to score him. Take your chances with Josh Smith if you can get the bunt down.
Pulls it back, misses outside.
See, and again, it's third inning. You're giving you an out right here.
And Shaw is too deep right now. He should be up because it's still a bunt situation here, 2-1. And you can bunt it to first where Kate Shaw is. And he
seemed like to me that's the pitch you want to maybe, bunt it right back up the first baseline.
Yeah, just push it that way.
I just think Broussard thought that ball was off the plate, so he just gave up on it.
Down and away. Well, now you got to try to get him over with the bat. Hit it to the right side.
Keeps the at bat alive. Pulls it foul. Runs are going to be hard to come by, guys. So these scenarios are going to be a huge part of the game.
Yeah, it appears that both of the pitchers are going to throw strikes. We're not going to see a ton of walks, so that's probably a given right now. Now the question is, who's going to get some guys on to be able to execute and do the little things?
Line. Nice play by Regan. Broussard now 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position on the season. Hit it, can't do anything but hit it hard. Nothing to show for it. Back to the top of the order. Josh Smith will step in. He struck out his first time up against Cobb. Fouls it back out of play. Smith is so aggressive. He's aggressive in the strike zone. That's the other part that I like about Josh Smith is when his approach is he doesn't swing at a lot of pitches out of the zone, but boy, if it's a strike, he's aggressive through that.
Yeah, he's not a typical leadoff guy. He's not going to go up there and see a ton of pitches.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
He's aggressive, but like you said, you hit the nail on the head. He's aggressive in the zone.
So he'll take that pitch that's not there, but if it's a strike, he's up there to whack at it. And he's been good in this scenario. 5 for 6 on the season with runners in scoring position.
There's another one.
Now that's like a punch right there.
Taking a jab right there.
And it catches you off to the side a little bit. I think this catches him on the right side just a little. When it does, it just, oh no, that caught him dead in the middle. That caught him.
Been a rough inning for McCann so far.
That's a punch right there.
Get one off your arm. And you get a pass ball. Then you get one off your face.
They do call them the tools of ignorance. One and two to Smith. McCann knocks it down, can't stop. That's a good effort, but good base running there for Mathis. Good anticipation.
McCann again taking one.
He got one up in the neck area this time. Yeah, that was an excellent effort by McCann. I tell you what, a read too by Mathis at second base. We talked about yesterday about reading the ball out of the pitcher's hand, reading down angle. Watch this ball jump up and where it's going to get McCann. Oh yeah, just under the chin.
Collarbone.
Makes a pretty good throw from his knees.
Okay, now it hurts.
Yeah. It's about a 2-second delay before the pain sets in.
2-2, infield back. Popped up. Tagging, but not going, is Mathis. That's a big out for Corey Cobb. Guy at third base, less than 2 outs. Those are big-time pitches you make as a pitcher. Because as a hitter, I'm doing everything I can to get that guy in.
Chased one up, exactly what you want him to do, get the ball in the air today. And not deep enough.
Right, especially when you see the infield playing back, you know as a hitter, I give routine ground ball to shortstop or second base, we got the first run, but elevated fastball, Josh Smith couldn't get on top.
Haig out to talk to his young right-hander. This may be more of a rest for the catcher than it is the pitcher here. In the series, and this is the reason Texas is up 2-0 in this series, LSU is 2 for 12 now with runners in scoring position.
And if you look coming into this series, LSU one of the best in the country with hitting in runners just on base, runners in scoring position. They were burning it up.
Over 440 coming in.
I mean, Texas has just handled the LSU offense.
Watson will step in. He grounded to third his first time up. Upstairs for ball one. The 1-0. Downstairs, good hitter's pitch coming. Watson's been good in the series. Now it's 3-0, and look who's in the on-deck circle.
Right.
I won't lie to you. I've looked in that on-deck circle a few times, and it takes away from what you're trying to do to the hitter in the plate. You're trying to get him out so bad so you don't have to face that guy on deck.
3-0, singled into right center. Watson comes up with that big base hit, and the Tigers on a 3-0 count take a 1-0 lead.
Well, from time to time when the offense struggles, you'll see Paul Mainieri do some unusual things. Hit and run with runners on first and second sometimes just to try to get something going. He gives Watson the green light here on a 3-0 count, which you never really see happen that often. And Watson with a very under-controlled swing, takes a ball on the outside part of the plate, just hits it where it's pitched.
Hit it back through the box.
Right.
3-0, you know, if you give a 3-0 so many times, you think, well, as a hitter, oh, I've got to pull or I got to drive this ball. No. 3-0, he's saying right there, you're going to get a pitch to hit. Try to hit it right back through the box, and he did. Throw gets away from Shaw, but not far enough. Duplantis, who walked his first time up. Tigers jumped out in game one, guys, 1-0. That's the only lead they've had. They held on to that until the third inning in game one. senior left-handed hitter, steps back in. Pops it up. Todd with a view, puts it away. But damage done by LSU. They come up with a big knock to take the lead. Pulmonary will be up with us when we come back.
The eyes of Texas are upon Longhorn Extra this week.
I promised myself when I stepped on campus I'll do everything I can to help win a Big 12 championship or a national championship.
Me being back on the court will motivate the guys to want to play harder.
Go beyond the 40 acres for the stories you need to hear about the people who make Texas great.
It's something positive to do for the black community and young girls watching the game.
Longhorn Extra this week, Thursday at 7 on LHN.
Every time a Friday feels like a family reunion, a Corona gets its line. Every time your favorite song is everyone's favorite song. Every time your work friends and your friend friends become friends. Every time it feels like you're the only two people in the room. And every time it's like you're the only people on earth, a Corona gets its line.
Back at Dish Falk Field, Tigers take a 1-0 lead in the top of the third inning, going to the bottom of the third here. Visiting now with head coach from LSU, Coach Paul Maneri. Coach, you guys punched in the mouth for the first time this year, right? Dropped your first 2 ball games on the road, tough environment. What do you tell your bunch after the loss last night?
Well, the same thing you tell them every day. Every day's a new day. You get to celebrate a victory till midnight, or you analyze a defeat until midnight, and then you got to turn the page. This is not football or basketball where you get days off in between games. So if you don't come to the field with confidence and positive thinking, then you have no chance.
And Coach, your pitcher on the mound, strikes have been a problem for your staff this weekend, but Eric Walker today seems to have a good feel for the zone.
Yeah, well, you know, the first 2 days we just gave too many free passes. You can't beat a good team on the road like that. And Eric's a strike thrower, so hopefully he'll keep it up for us.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, guys.
Good luck the rest of the season. As Mason Hibbler will step in. That's a good way to look at it. You're absolutely right. That's almost a professional approach, because you do play every day in professional ball.
Yeah.
You know, you can enjoy it until you leave the ballpark, or you can miserate over a loss until you leave the ballpark.
The game will beat you up.
Yeah.
If you let it, and especially at the next level when you're playing every day. I had teammates, I'm sure y'all did too, that you were like, dude, it's one at bat. It's one game. We've got 150 more to go.
You try to leave it all at the ballpark, but you know it's hard to do. You know, you take it home with you sometimes too, and it's hard to separate the two. But that was 37 years of experience talking right there.
Yeah, it sure was, and there's no doubt about it. It's 1-1 to Hibbler. See if you guys feel the way I do, that one of the first things you've got to learn when you leave the college game to the pro game is you cannot get too high when you're going good, and you can't get too low when you're going bad.
That's right.
You got to stay in somewhere in the middle all the time.
It's the only person that could probably take it wrong for a couple days would be a starting pitcher, because then you got a few days
because
to
you
get
only
over
work
it.
every 5 days. I'll speed downstairs.
It ain't hard to get him going, Ben.
I'm staying out of that one.
I will say that relievers, they have to come to the ballpark every day. 2-2, foul back. They have to come to the ballpark every day like an everyday player, because they don't know if they're going to play or not. There's a few days, if you've thrown 2 days in a row and thrown them, you know you're going to have off, but other than that.
I threw 116 innings out of the pen my first year relieving. I was like, why didn't y'all just leave me as a starter?
Like you say, you just should have been a starter.
2-2. Play, it's going to be a difficult one. Wind pushing to the line. Runs out of real estate. I tell you what, anything going up that's right of second base has got a chance to be a foul ball.
Oh, no doubt. Especially if you're talking about where the second baseman plays, there's no doubt that ball, if it's hit high enough, it's going to be a foul ball.
LSU pitching starting to find itself here, guys. In the last 7 frames, they've given up no hits and no runs as a staff.
Well, Matthew Beck came in last night, walked a couple, but put up a goose egg. Mikhail Hilliard came in. He was pretty good last night, too, for LSU.
On the ground, Smith attacks. Nice play right there. First out of the inning.
I think it's in the tank for LSU. I mean, I think there's enough arms, assuming Hill gets healthy, the freshman who was supposed to pitch today. But I think it's still some problems they got to solve, you know, and that's what this preseason's about, leading up to the SEC. You know, look, when LSU and Texas played each other last year, I looked at Texas, LSU won 2 or 3. I looked at Texas, and I went, I don't think that's an Omaha team.
Right.
So
you and I talked about it. I said, not right now.
Not right now. And so it's amazing how things can change.
Regan hits this ball, puts a jolt into it. This is going to go for extra bases. He's got outstanding speed. He will stop at second base with a one-out double. Sometimes you get caught cheating up with the weather.
Yeah. Well, you talk about production at the bottom. How about this? You get production out of your 9-hole hitter. Your freshman hits a rocket. You can see Watson center field playing shallow. Why shouldn't he? Wind really blown in. Ball gets over his head, quickly gets it in and holds Regan to a stand-up double.
I guess if there is a thing, kept that one below the wind.
Right. That was the old Tiger Woods wind cheater right there, 2-iron.
Back to the top of the order to Ellis. That is the first hit by Texas in the last 7 innings of this series.
Watson backed up a little bit now in center field. Not as shallow.
Foul back out of play. Ellis 0 for 1 in this one. Big blow Friday night, 2-run homer. But he's been doing his job. You can see that last number, 518 on base percentage. The 0-1. It's downstairs.
That's a good point you make. I mean, I did a little bit of look at Texas hitting 269 coming in, which isn't that great. You know, that's 7th best in the Big 12. But look at the on-base percentage, right at 400 as a team. That's what really matters, is how many guys you get on base, and that puts them towards the top of the Big 12 conference.
Yeah, and I really believe in team OPS, and their slugging percentage has been good coming in. I mean, now there hasn't been a lot of extra base hits in this series. Ellis's home run, and then the other factor, I would not believe that we would be the 13th game of the year and Texas has not yielded a home run to this point.
Yeah, that's amazing. They're the only, I looked at that, they're the only team in the SEC or the Big 12 that has not yielded a home run as a pitching staff yet. That says something.
Foul back out of play. 66 pitches now he's seen in 12 at-bats over the course of the weekend as Ellis. That's getting deep counts every at-bat.
You couldn't ask for anything more than that for your leadoff guy.
Long look in, now shakes, now set. Up the middle, Smith has it. First in time. Boy, he gets rid of the ball so quickly, does Josh Smith. Gets up, gets in position, and gets rid of the ball.
It's in and out. He squares those shoulders. You got a better arm than you think he's got too, but it's the quick release, really in and out.
That brings Eric Kennedy to the plate. He's got the full muzzle on, doesn't he? He's Tampa, Florida. I'm sure he didn't play in many games at this temperature in Tampa, Florida. First pitch in there for a strike to Eric.
I just wonder how many pitches Eric Walker has in him. I don't see anybody warming up as of yet. He's approaching 50 pitches. I wouldn't think he'd go much more than 60 for sure. Just as he continues to work his way back.
Down the right field line, and that's fair. Into the corner. Texas has tied it up. Regan into score, Kennedy into second base. with an RBI double.
I think we might have a possible review here. Reed was pointing foul immediately, and it took a second down there for the ump to call it fair. Looked to me, it was inside the bag, barely. It looked like it just over the front edge
That
of
should
that
be a
bag.
fair ball then, right? It's where it goes over the top of the bag.
That's exactly right.
It's not where it lands on the other side. It's where it goes over the bag.
Kelly Nutt, third base umpire, had a great view on it. He's much closer than we are, but we had a great view right there on the review. It no doubt, in my opinion, was over the top of the bag. Not going to be reviewed.
Two freshmen in this inning with a double apiece for Texas.
There's that slugging percentage I was talking about right there. Todd steps in. Ben, you mentioned it about throwing up a zero when your team's taking the lead. And just momentum, because this game, especially in college baseball, momentum is such
it's a
factor.
term that's used sometimes too often, shut down inning, but when runs are hard to come by for your club like it's been for LSU, and you finally get the lead as a pitcher, you don't want to put any extra pressure on yourself, but you got to understand the importance of getting an out, getting that first out, and putting up a zero on that scoreboard.
And Austin Todd in these scenarios has been really good. He's 10 for 19 with runners in scoring position on the season. He leads the Longhorns in RBIs. As he steps in here.
Kennedy with an impressive lead out there.
To right, Duplantis going up, looking up. This ball's gone. Opposite field, two-run shot. And Texas takes a 3-1 lead.
Third inning has been key for Texas, at least Friday night, the two-run homer by Ellis in the third inning to give Texas a 3-1 lead, and now Austin Todd with the two-run homer to give Texas a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, we were talking about how tough it was going to be able to leave the yard, but that was a nice, I mean, that ball was struck well, slicing back, kind of riding the wind. That ball got out.
That's the 10th homer as a team by the Longhorns this season. Their opponents, as we mentioned earlier, have none. Zubia steps in. All three hits for Texas in this inning, all three extra base hits and a 3 spot.
And all three with 2 out, too. No, the double was 1 out.
Down the third baseline and foul.
4 runs in the game. All this inning have all been with 2 outs. Or you just said 1 out.
0-2 to Zubia. Breaking ball on the ground. Smith has it. Snap throw perfect to first, and that ends the inning, but not before damage done. As the Longhorns put a 3 spot on the board. The big blow, Austin Todd's 2-run opposite field homer. Texas takes a 3-1 lead.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on Game Plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
This is hit a ton. Goodbye home run.
The
starting pitching has been outstanding.
Big strikeout for Henley.
What a play! Dynamite performance.
Baby, we came here to win.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better, and the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to like really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game plan with Shaka Smart, Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
Frigid afternoon, third of the game in the books, and boy, we had an explosive third inning as the Tigers took a 1-0 lead. And then Texas came back with 3 hits, all extra bases, capped by the home run by Todd. Take a 3-1 lead. Cabrera's first pitch swinging, grounds to second. You look around the country, this is that weekend where you start to see some really good intersectional matchups across the country. Red Raiders have struggled up in Frisco, as have the Baylor Bears down in Houston.
Yeah, both of those clubs off to outstanding starts. Mississippi State continues the road. JT Ginn, first-round draft pick by the Dodgers, decided to go to school. He's their Saturday night guy. They're in Stark, Vegas. He was outstanding again last night.
When you look at the Aggies, who are not ranked right now, which is surprising to all 3 of us. All they've done is had exceptional pitching down in the College Classic.
Yeah, I tell you what, somebody's missing the boat on A&M. I mean, Braden Shoemake to me is as good as there is in the country out at shortstop. And in those 2 pitchers they got, John Dox Atkins on Friday night and Asa Lacey on Saturday. 2 left-handers that can really blank you.
Loso steps back in. Great pitch there. Inside corner, Frozy tied him up.
Oh, the freshman just going right at him. Right there, he's going to show bunt again. First pitch, but right here, this ball just painted on the inside. Comes back a little bit right at the belt.
Away, and it paints you on the inside part of the plate. And the freshman understands the importance of this inning after getting a 3-1 lead. He's trying to go for that goose egg.
Yeah, we were talking in between innings. Ben, I don't think there's a doubt that there's certain points of the game where momentum's going to be shifted. And it looked like LSU had grabbed the momentum. Texas sort of yanked it back in the bottom of the third.
Yanked it back in a big way. Big base hit with 2 outs, scored a first run, a 2-run shot.
One and one. Chris Reed downstairs.
You know, that's been an impressive thing to me about Texas, guys, is that they have answered back quickly. You know, if you go back to last night, they were up 6-0. LSU gets a 3 spot, cuts the lead in half, and then in the bottom part of the inning, Texas answered right back and put up a couple more runs.
Yep.
And here they answer the bell again. LSU steals the momentum, top of the third. Here comes Texas again, bottom of the third.
3-1 to Reed. A couple of hits last night off of the bench. Way upstairs. You can look at Keith Law's Division I prospects. Well, I tell you what, I've seen a lot of these guys play. Josh Young in the Big 12, outstanding player. Langalier's injured right now, but you know that's really hurting the Bears.
Yeah.
Try to get him back, and you talk about Shoemake.
He can swing it. He's got a stroke a lot like I see a lot of Robin Ventura in him. The way he just kind of glides through. Big frame, going to fill out,
Good
you know.
size.
Andrew Vaughn, you know, won the Golden Spikes Award last year at Cal.
When you were talking about that Misner from, you liked him.
Oh yeah, at Missouri, he was banged up a little bit last year, but he's a good-looking outfitter with a big arm that can really run. Big physical kid too. So the Orioles have the first pick in the country this year, so you know I think they've got it narrowed down to about 5 guys that they're going to continue to watch, because you never know who emerges, you know, down the stretch.
And you got a little interest in that with Baltimore having that first one.
I do. Interesting to see. I mean, you know, you hear Adley Rutschman, who was on the list at Oregon State, possible first rounder. Bobby Witt's son, Bobby Witt Jr., is a high school shortstop. He's in that conversation as well.
On the ground to second, that ends the inning. When we get back, we'll visit with yesterday's starter for Texas, Blair Henley.
Little ones agree. More is better. At Dell Children's, we feel the same. Our care teams and connection to the Dell Medical School at UT Austin means we have the most pediatric specialties in the region, including heart, brain and spine, emergency care, and more. The only comprehensive children's hospital in Central Texas. More, right here in Texas, only at Dell Children's.
Ship, we've been here for 2 hours, 5 more minutes, and we gotta go. You can buy them online.
They ship boots?
All over the country.
What if they don't fit?
They ship with prepaid return labels, so if they don't fit, it's easy to return them.
That is easy.
Did you make a decision yet?
Nope.
Texas Boot Company, whether it's online or in Bastrop. Authentic styles and small town service.
Thank God you weren't a quarterback.
Should have been.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1 Texas. We take this opportunity to go down into the Texas dugout and visit with yesterday's starting pitcher for the Longhorns, Blair Henley. First of all, Blair, congratulations on yesterday.
Thank you.
Talk to us about your mindset coming in, pitching on Saturday, seeing the guys the night before. Has that been something that's been a little different? Because I know you pitched on Sunday last year. You got to see guys all weekend long before you took the ball.
Yeah, it's been a little different. You know, kind of going on Saturday, we get a pretty good idea. Obviously, the coaches do a really good job of scouting and, you know, watching the film from the games before. But Bryce goes out there and he just does his job. So it's good to see him execute pitches, and it's easy for me, you know, to figure out what we have to do because he does it.
And after your first start, Blair, you struggled in Louisiana. 2 straight starts now. You've gone into the 6th inning, into the 7th inning against Purdue. What's been the difference after that first start in the last 2?
Yeah, I mean, they're still not the best starts that I've had, but, you know, I'm just going out there, I'm competing to win. I mean, that's all we care about. Offense is doing a great job for me. You know, when I put up some runs, or when they put up some runs, and it's kind of helping out. But I think just going out there and just doing our job day to day and just kind of figuring it out. So,
Blair, you've been a veteran guy, obviously a junior, been a 3-year starter, weekend starter. I'm looking at Coy Cobb, your freshman teammate. Can you get a pair of sleeves on him, man? It is kind of cold out there today.
Yeah, he definitely took Chase Sugart's regard for no winter clothing. That's what Chase did last year, but
maybe it's the ink on the arm that's keeping him warm.
It is. It's good. You know, he can do whatever he wants when he's shoving, so I don't mind.
Ripped to the right by Ryan Reynolds. Good leadoff start right here. Now, the question, Blair, for me is when you look at it and you go out, I mean, your style's a little different. You're a complete 4-pitch mixed guy. Is there something you try to do at the start of the game to try to establish one pitch, or are you just trying to find the ones that are working best and then work the others in?
Well, everything works off the fastball. When I can command that fastball, when I can put it where I want it, I'm going to have a lot of success with the other ones when I can throw them well too. So I think the main point is just to command that fastball pretty early on and let them know that I have 4 pitches and mix them well and use them when I can.
I want to talk about LSU being in town. Y'all went out there last year, lost 2 out of 3. What was the attitude after Wednesday's game was a little shaky to coming into this game against the #1 team in the nation, this series?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's looking forward to this series, and it's a big one. I think it's the battle of the 6-time national champions. So, you know, there was so much hype around this game, and we knew it. And so we were just excited to come face a really good team.
Now, they didn't do anything for you to take that a step farther? I don't know that you've pitched a game here with that size of crowd, other than a regional, than last night when you took the mound.
Yeah, it was definitely a regional feel. And, you know, a big shout out to all our fans for coming out and supporting us. It was a great atmosphere last night, and we're looking for more of that in the rest of the season. I think we have Tech and TCU, or we got a TCU, but Tech. It's going to be a fun series.
Hogs coming in town, too.
Yeah. Oh, Arkansas, too. Yeah, of course.
That's right.
Yeah, forget about them. Yeah.
So. Blair, what was different for you? Let's let this play shake out here.
We do a job, Tate.
How about you in the third inning last night? So you cruised through the first and pretty much the second inning. The third inning, you run into a little bit of a trouble. What was different? You give up 4 base hits in a row. LSU scores 3 runs on you, but then right back in the fourth, 3 up, 3 down, right back in the fifth, 3 up, 3 down, and again in the sixth inning. What was a little different about the third inning?
Yeah, I mean, the problem for me in the third, I was just leaving the pitches right over the plate that I shouldn't be leaving there. I think I left the curveball over, and they smacked them both over the middle. But that's been a kind of a problem with me sometimes, is I just lose focus for half a second. I leave that pitch right over the plate where I should be burying it in the ground and getting them out. But it's not going to happen again. So,
all right, I talked to you during batting practice, and we talked about the golf game, man. Are you on elder status? Can you
No.
Can you hang with him?
No, nobody's on elder status, but we go play pretty often. We went Wednesday after we won the Big 12 championship last year, and then we had to do it again, so we played, and then we went to UT, and then we played. We beat the regional, or we won the regional, and then we did it again with the super regional, and then we did it again before.
It's
Omaha,
a little good luck charms, what you're saying.
It was. Oh yeah, it was a
Nothing
lot of fun,
superstitious
too.
about it, though, right?
No. We just had to do it.
Now, the last one I have for you is, you know what this game means, because you got the ball after falling the first 2 games at LSU last year. Coach Pierce handed you the ball and win a game that y'all needed to win, and y'all found a way to get it to win today. So how does this flip-flop? How does this felt to be on the flip-flop side of that?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't want to get swept last year. I mean, playing at the box, it's a great atmosphere, especially for them. But we're going out there trying to take one from them, and our goal is to sweep. We're trying as hard as we can to sweep the series this year. So.
Well, thanks, Blair, for taking the time to visit with us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's Blair Henley, Longhorn starting pitcher. 2-1 count to McCann. Runner in scoring position here. Texas trying to add to this 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Are you a little surprised, Ben, that Walker is still out there?
I am. I don't think they want to stretch him out. They want to continue to build that arm strength for him. But on a day like today, I mean, I'm showing him right about 61 pitches, which is about, we thought he'd be somewhere around 60. LSU has a little action going in the bullpen, so you think this is definitely the last inning, and could be the last batter or 2 for him as well.
McCann digs in. Hitters count here 2-1. Reynolds out at second base. Ball's hit pretty well, but into the teeth of this breeze. Boy, that had a good sound when it left the bat.
He hit it good, but see, he's saying something going back to the bench, getting some smiles from the guys over there.
Yeah,
probably saying I can't hit it any better.
That's what he said. I put a charge into that one, guys.
Yeah.
They're like, really? The center fielder ran in and caught it.
He's saying, really? Today, of all days, I hit one like that.
Yeah.
That blinks Hibbler to the plate. Mason grounded to short his first time up. Has had a pretty good weekend coming in. In fact, he was 3 for 7. That led the club over the weekend. Right side down the right field line, fading foul. Down in the bullpen, there is activity for the Tigers.
That's a freshman, Cole Henry. 6'4", 215-pounder with a big arm, up to 96 the other day in a relief appearance. He hadn't pitched yet in this series, but certainly the young man I think LSU's counting on to be a weekend rotation guy for him probably next year.
He's got a good mix then.
Good fastball with some sink to it from what I've seen in a couple relief appearances, and an improving changeup and improving breaking ball. Of course, command for him is, like a lot of young pitchers, is a challenge from time to time.
The 0-1 to Hibbler. Downstairs, and the count evens. That's a good number in this series for Texas. 13 for 34 with runners in scoring position.
That's big time.
8 in the first ball game, 8 yesterday's ball game. So they have scored at this point 19 runs, have the Longhorns in this series. One upstairs. You can see what Walker brings to the table, though, is he does build that arm strength. He's got the ability. He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher. And look, his freshman year, he worked 95 innings for LSU. I'll go back when Alex Lang, the first rounder, and Jared Poche struggled early in the year. It was young Eric Walker that really carried that LSU staff until those other two guys got it going. Of course, LSU made that run to Omaha like Texas did last year, and Eric Walker, elbow blew out on him it was in the final series against Florida, game 1.
He's getting the ball over the plate. 17 batters he's faced. He's only fallen behind 5 of them.
Hit well, but playable to center. And that ends the inning. Texas threatens, but does not score. 3-1.
Stand out from the crowd as a super fan with your new specialty toll tag. Specialty toll tags combine the same benefits of standard toll tags with your favorite team colors. Open a new account or upgrade your current toll tag by visiting one of our locations, calling NTTA, or visiting specialtytolltags.com for more info. Make other fans burn orange with envy by sporting a Texas Longhorns toll tag and scoring big toll tag savings. UT toll tags are available now for $19.99 and provide the same benefits as a standard toll tag. Open a new account or upgrade your current toll tag by visiting one of our locations, calling NTTA, or visiting specialtytolltags.com.
However you do delivery, earn 3x points for ordering in and many of your favorite things. The Propel Card from Wells Fargo.
Now Warren Morris hits a deep drive down the right field line. That ball is gone! LSU wins the College World Series!
The Tigers are national champions.
And that is ripped to deep center. It is gone! Connor Rowe drives one to left. Gone! Texas wins!
6 national championships apiece. See the ones on the board for Texas, LSU. Skip Berkman with 5. Benari with 1 himself. And I really think during that 10-year stretch, though, when Skip was there, well, he was there longer than that, but in that stretch where they won 5 and 10 years, that was an incredible stretch.
No, it really was. I mean, Skip kind of figured it out along the way. And
good effort. Either Reynolds or McCann could come up with it.
it's like a lot of programs that are out there. A lot of teams are just glad to get to Omaha, and then you kind of let your guard down a little bit sometimes because you kind of take a breath and you think, well, we made it. And I think in the early years, the building block years for LSU, it was my era. We made it there several times, but just couldn't win it because I don't know if we actually really believed that we could.
There you go.
And then, as play went forward, looks like Brock Mathis gets hit by a pitch here. Then the players that came behind my era said, you know what, look, LSU's been here before, guys. It's time for us to win it. We don't, and all of a sudden when that first one came, and it came in bunches.
That hurt, too. On a day like today, that hurt.
It was like right off the point of the elbow.
Oof. Throw over. Mathis gets back. That's insult to injury. You hit me, and then you go throw over to first, maybe dive back into the bag.
I'm the catcher. I'm not going anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Brant Broussard bunted him over, though.
Ooh, almost hit Broussard right there.
Broussard tried last at bat to get the ball down and lined out to short. Couldn't get him over to third base after Mathis had gotten to second base.
Tough play here. Coming on quickly is Todd, able to make the play for the first out of the inning. That ball first left the bat. Today you get some of those Texas leaguers to get knocked down pretty quick. Todd able to get to it, back to the top of the order. This is where the damage has been done in this series. Bottom of the order now, 1 for 36 in this series, but these top 4 guys have done the damage. Smith 0 for 2 in this one. He's going to bring the head coach out to talk.
I think this is about why are you throwing over to first base right now? I mean, we've had a couple of times you've almost thrown the ball down the line. You got a guy that doesn't have a stolen base.
Not every time.
This year, we don't need to throw over to first base.
Not every time has to be your best quick move. If we give you a throw over, just nice and easy. He's going to throw a triple right there in the middle.
Well, I heard both of you talk this weekend about you can come set and hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Cobb has thrown over 9 times in the ball game to first base.
About a third of them have almost been thrown away.
Yeah. Good changeup, had Smith out in front. As a catcher, there was only a few guys I ever caught that I would call first pitch changeup for. I got to be honest. I just didn't, you know, when a guy walks in out of the dugout, comes to the plate, he doesn't know speed yet. Now, I can throw a fastball up and away, call it up and away to be a ball, and call 4 consecutive changeups after that.
Right, that's right.
But I wanted him to, I just didn't want them to set on changeup on the first pitch. 0-2 to Smith now. Boy, he just does a good job of staying inside the ball right there. On his way to third, Mathis, nice base running right there by the Tigers. Puts runners at second and third.
Yeah, I'm not sure Kennedy, the left fielder, realized that I thought Matthews was going to actually stop at second base, but Mathis never checked up, goes from first to third on a ball that just barely gets through the infield. Just a little squibber, inside-out swing just by the third baseman, Reynolds. And you can see there's Mathis right there. He reads it. He takes a big turn just in case. He picks up the left fielder, Kennedy, and he's on. And, I mean, just gets into third base. And, of course, Josh Smith heads up. He moves up to second base.
Watson steps in over the top of it for strike one. But that, you got to be aggressive. And even though you're down in the game, I like that.
I do too.
Aggressive. I really like that inside-out swing by Josh Smith. Yeah, it was with Reynolds off the line. Almost like he placed it out there.
The ball gets away. Mathis comes in to score, and it's a 3-2 ball game. That was created by Tiger base runners.
That's right. By taking an extra 90 feet, both base runners moved up, got themselves second and third, and only one out. Then you get a wild pitch, and you draw one run closer. Now, if you're Zach Watson, you see the infield pushback, you realize that's the tying run 90 feet away. I'm going to hit me a ground ball to the shortstop or a ground ball to second base, but I'm going to tie this game up.
This is outside. 77th pitch of the day. At number, I would think he's got to be getting close to the end of his window.
Well, he kind of sees losing a feel. He's got the changeup feel, but that's about it. Brandon Ivy, the lefty, getting ready. We got a few lefties in a row coming up. Looks like Mateo Boki with the ski mask. He's not throwing with any urgency right now. Still got the jacket on.
On the ground, gets the job done. Throw across the diamond in time, but just like that, the Tigers have tied this thing up. Hit by pitch, good base running, one base hit. Leads to 2 runs.
That's right. That's right. And when your offense is struggling and you're struggling to put up some runs on the scoreboard, you have to be more aggressive, taking that extra 90 and then being able to execute when you don't need a base hit to score a run. LSU did a pretty good job so far this inning with that.
Well, Mathis scored the first run by being aggressive on a ball in the dirt.
Yes.
To get to third base, and then scored on the 3-0 hit.
He runs much better than the average catcher. Almost hits him inside. Is there that time, guys? Y'all were both young freshmen at times. Is there a time when you just hit a window? It feels like Cobb's lost a lot of his feel right here. On the ground, Shaw has it to Cobb, and he drops the ball. Should be out of the inning, and Cobb just took his eye off of it and dropped the ball.
Yeah, Cobb did everything right. Duplantis can really get down the line, and Cobb did everything. Gets over to the bag, picks up the throw from the first baseman Shaw right there, and went to step on the bag and just didn't quite have it in his glove all the way. You see it's in, and then he just couldn't squeeze it and hang on to it. Boy, that scared me when he stuck his throwing hand out to pick that ball up.
And seeing the same thing that we've seen. Coach is coming out, going to make a pitching change. Cobb can't get through the 5th. And you can look at LSU, the power team they are, but taking advantage. Good base running to tie this thing up.
Who wants to get wet? Get on in there. Climb on in there. I am on today. Yes! Next. Don't be shy. Get in there. Burning daylight. Let's go. Yes!
Hey, I thought the fans were supposed to dunk Roger.
Yeah, there was some confusion about that.
Nobody wanted to tell him.
Everybody's getting wet today. Everybody.
Absolutely not.
Who's next? Come on. Let's go. Yes!
Into the bullpen does the Texas Longhorns go as Ivy comes into the game. Zeke, what can you tell us about him?
Well, Brandon Ivy, the lefty for Texas. Not too many appearances there. The senior out of Houston. He's dropped him down a little bit this year, try to create some movement on the baseball. His 4th appearance and only an inning and a 3rd. So he's the lefty specialist, actually the only lefty on both these staffs, LSU and Texas. But with LSU having a few more lefties coming up here in a row, get a chance maybe to extend and throw a few hitters in a row. And there's the freshman Coy Cobb, still responsible for the runner on first. 4 2/3. When we started talking about it, it look like he hit a wall. I think the weather, the cold, you stay out there and just start to lose a feel for the baseball.
No, I thought he was good. I mean, he was really good. The changeup was outstanding right out of the chute, you know, in the first 4 innings he did well. But then the command just started to waver, he hits a guy, almost hits another guy, you know, the changeup not quite the same feel. We really couldn't land his breaking ball. I think you're right. I think it could be a little bit of the weather.
Well, that and
then you don't
also,
help yourself.
Right.
Also, it's a big environment to pitch in. I mean, and you're emotionally, you use so much emotional energy getting ready, seeing it, getting out, and then getting off to a good start and a good flow. And just couldn't push through the 5th.
For a freshman that sat around and watched the first 2 games, he's been ready to get out there.
1-1. This is downstairs.
He's going to be a good one, though, guys. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
I really like him.
And then you don't help yourself with the dropping the baseball
and
at
that
first.
gets you out of the ball game.
You're out of the inning and out of the ball game.
The 2-1 gets away from McCann. Go ahead run down to scoring position. See how they call that.
So Phil, hey, go for it.
I don't think he felt like the effort was there to catch that ball. Probably called a wild pitch, you know, but I mean, for me, big-time college baseball guys, winning run or go ahead run at first base, hey, you got to find a way. Keep it in front.
Challenged him right there on a 3-1 count. Got it by him. Greg, you mentioned it. Dropping down, it's really helped create some different angles for Ivy.
It put some movement on the baseball.
Missed outside, ball 4.
That was a nice job by McCann there to keep that one in front. Almost the same pitch that got by him. Well, if you're Ivy, this is the guy you want anyway. You know, Cabrera, a little bit more polished of a hitter, been around a little bit longer, lefty on lefty matchup. Beloso, just a freshman. Wasn't playing early in the year for LSU, and LSU would face a left-hander, but as of late, because he's been swinging it pretty well, he's getting some opportunities in that lefty-on-lefty matchup.
And you'll see now with Beloso up, you can't get Reynolds out in the rover position with the runner on second base. Hibbler playing deep and Regan way up the middle.
Ripped down the right field line, but
yes.
no foul.
Oh, that's the best catch of the
game. That's a good grab right there. Wow. What's this? Line drive by Beloso. He just stays right on it down the line right here. Slicing right into it.
Yeah, leaned over the wall and everything. He said, that's me.
We'll hang a star on that one.
This is inside.
Right there.
That's why you bring your glove to the ballpark.
Exactly.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Everybody else eating nachos, baby. He's catching foul balls.
Good pitch there. Now ahead is Ivy. Let's have some cotton candy as well.
A little sugar.
It might be frozen sugar right now.
It went from cotton candy to a snowball, huh?
The 1-2. On the ground, playable. Hibbler to first, that ends the inning. Not before damage done by LSU. They tie it up with a 2-spot. Regan, Ellis, Kennedy due for Texas.
The perfect sofa for you is a reflection of your individual style and needs. That's why Louis Shanks offers an infinite selection of fine home furnishings in every style. Visit our new Reflections Custom Design Center, where pieces can be designed to perfectly fit you. Or partner with one of our experienced designers to help make your dream home a reality. Room by room, or one piece at a time. Louis Shanks Furniture. We live to help you love where you live.
What starts here creates leaders and sparks our future. What starts here lights our way. What starts here leads to answers to the world's toughest problems. What starts here builds opportunity and lifts up our communities. What starts here feeds the soul. What starts here changes the world. The University of Texas at Austin.
You look at the freshmen. Obviously, Reagan is Regan, pronounced Regan, but they are Ford, Kennedy, and spelt the same way, Regan, but their numbers, they've been good.
Regan.
They've done a nice job. You can see the numbers right there as
they call them the freshman presidents there.
I see that.
They've done good today. They're 2 for 3, 2 doubles, RBI, and a run scored today. They've been good. They're going to face a guy that you mentioned has got a good arm, Cole Henry.
Yeah, it really does, and he can sink the ball too when he gets it going. Big, tall kid, 6'4", live arm. Got some good sink to that fastball. He's got a breaking ball to change up as well. From Florence, Alabama, one Cole Henry.
All right, we're halfway home here, guys. You look at this scenario. It's game 3. LSU. You knew they were going to come out. They want to salvage one of this series.
Got to.
This is a big opportunity. I guarantee you now we're halfway home. We're tied. This is where it's going to come down now to which team out of the bullpen can throw strikes, in my opinion. I think that'll be the key, because I don't think you're going to see big home runs and things like that. We have seen a home run in this game, but the conditions are not good for offense.
No. Brandon Ivy came out, getting through the heart of the lefty lineup for the Tigers. Gets out of that inning. Now it's up to Cole Henry. With both starters out of the game. Cobb 4 2/3, just 3 hits and 3 runs, with a couple walks. Eric Walker 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs.
Just misses there, and the count evens to Regan, who doubled and scored in the 3rd.
You know, at the back end of the bullpen, it could be advantage LSU, because you think Quintanilla probably not available today, where Peterson is for LSU, LSU's closer.
Well, you stay right there with that sink. he can be real effective.
Yes. And it's a cold day. You see him bumping 93 there, you know, and it's a good arm. It's a good arm. Really good arm.
The 1-2.
And he's got one of those too, by the way. And that one right there, that one will hurt your feelings if you stand in the box.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, you get 92, 92, 93 to the old jelly legger for strike 3.
Back to the top of the order to Ellis. Duke has been retired twice in this ball game. He's 0 for 2. Ooh, that's got some bite to it.
Yes.
Downstairs.
I like to see his leg kick, though, Zeke, get up a little bit. He kind of stops his leg, you know, right about here. I always thought if I got up a little bit higher, I could really drive even more momentum to the home plate, you know.
I mean, you were a high leg kick guy. I was a high leg kick guy. You get most of your, that's where you get all your power.
Yeah, your power,
your core,
your
and your lower body.
You know, and I think that's something that they'll work on with him and make, because if you watch his leg kick, you know, it's just above his waist or just right at his waist, really. I think if he'd get a little bit more into it, it'd help. I always felt like it made me stay back at balance point a little bit longer, too.
Use that
and
body.
not fall to the plate.
That's right, because you know how it is. You know, like you hitters, y'all used to get out in front a little bit. Pitchers, we're bad about that too, because if the body goes first, the arm drags behind. And when I felt like I had a high leg kick, I could stay back at balance point, let everything sink up, and then I could deliver it to home plate. That's a good pitch, huh?
That's dynamite breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Henry coming into the game. Now, to this point, Longhorn bullpen has been better than the Tigers, but that is dynamite pitch right there. Texas bullpen's got 5 2/3 innings of work, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, walked 3, struck out 8. For the Tigers, they've pitched 11 innings out of the bullpen. They've given up 7 runs, all 7 earned. They've walked 12 out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Last fastball 96.
Yeah, he's starting to crank it up a little bit.
Changeup.
First changeup, yeah. So we got the heater up to 96. Good breaking ball now, changeup.
I'm not giving a guy a chance if I'm throwing 96 by you and hanging a changeup.
Right.
Good hitters count here. I'm sitting on dead red. Missed with it outside. Ball 4. That brings the man of the match for Texas, at least so far. Opposite field, 2-run homer his last time up. Walked in the first. RBI leader for Texas.
You want to give Austin Todd a chance to swing, but I don't know if Eric Kennedy will stay. We got a big pitcher on the mound, good speed at first.
That's just a throw over to say, I know you're there. There is really an art to holding runners. Kennedy with a big lead, not going. Breaking ball downstairs. I mean, the guys that are good at it, come set, go over, come set, hold, come set, count
Right.
1, 2, come to the plate. It's
all about just varying your moves. Give them a different look. Be athletic enough that when they do get the big lead, you can have a really good move over there. If you don't pick them off, you make them think that you can. You shorten that lead a little bit.
back to the mound. To first, and that ends the inning. Henry comes in, shuts it down. Through 5, we're tied.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better, and the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to, like, really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game plan with Shaka Smart, Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
ton. Goodbye home run.
The starting pitching has been outstanding.
A big strikeout for Henley.
What a play! Dynamite performance.
Baby, we came here to win.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on game plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
Mi chiamo Matteo Bocchi.
Matteo Bocchi making an appearance, representing Europe, Italy, but their Europe representative in the Little League World Series in 2008. Gets a bunt base hit, comes in to score a run. You can see him excited right there. And now Zeke's on the mound for the Longhorns. First Italian-born player to ever play at the University of Texas.
Yeah, out of Parma, Italy. Came here last year with Mason Hibbler out of Odessa College. Has made a start. Got 2 appearances, pitched in the first series against Louisiana, and then started a game midweek. So getting a chance to come in here. They got that Italian flag out there with the horns on it. Learned how to pitch learned how to throw pitches watching YouTube. He said he had 7 when he got here. They've refined him down a little bit. They've dropped his angle just slightly, not too much, but he really gets some good movement on the fastball.
Okay.
Reed steps in.
Yeah, that's nice there. A little movement. That's going to be money down and away against the left-handers.
He's got some experience, guys. Biggest start last year is obviously 3rd and final game of the Super Regional, with a chance to go to Omaha.
Maybe the biggest start of the year for any starter for Texas, because you're 1 win away from going to Omaha, and you give it to Matteo Bocchi, and he goes 5 innings, gets the win.
Wow. This is outside.
So they dropped his arm slot down just a little bit, just to create a little bit more sink, a little bit more run, movement on that fastball.
The 1-2. This is outside.
That's the thing he's talked about now, is with that movement, he's having a tougher time learning where to start it.
Right.
How far it's going to break out, or if he starts it in, how far it's going to come back over the plate.
Reed with a really nice piece of hitting right there. Just drops the barrel right down on it. You can tell that's a veteran senior hitter right there.
That's a veteran guy, is right. Guy that's been around a little bit, a guy that can sit on the bench, which is difficult to do for 21-year-old kids, and then show up and have a good swing, because it's his first start of the season for him. And you see him just nice and quiet, just real simple, like you said, just puts the barrel on it.
He's reached 5 out of the 6 plate appearances he's had in the series.
Yeah.
Garza steps in.
You know, and Hal Hughes is clearly a better defender than Reed is over at third base. But I think Paul Manera, like we talked about, trying to ignite something at the bottom part of that lineup. And what better way to do it than a senior guy that's experienced and go up and give you some good at-bats.
Popped right side. Shaw will run out of real estate.
But Chris Reed won't hurt you on defense either. I mean, he's going to make all the average plays, the routine plays. Hal Hughes is a little more agile.
Well, you're pulling a guy that plays shortstop at the third.
Right.
That can play shortstop. This could be 2. Under the glove. Good base running. Reed on his way to third. Again, the aggressiveness of the Tigers has been very important in this ballgame.
Yeah, as LSU's taking advantage of the last couple of innings by being aggressive, taking the extra 90 feet. Chris Reed hard into second base. A little bit of a turn. When he realized that ball scooted past Regan, he never checked up. Watch Chris Reed, top of your screen. He's reading it. Right there, he's getting ready to slide, but then he realizes Biden never checked up. We always talk about it. You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner. There's Reed right there. He sees it squirt through. He never hesitated. You don't have to be fast. You just got to be able to recognize some balls, be aggressive.
It starts out by knowing where the outfielders are when the play starts. Duke played a little deeper and the ball gets by, he has a chance to get to third base, and he took it.
Mathis steps in. Just snuck under the glove.
And if you're LSU, here you are again, another one of those situations you don't need a base hit.
Yeah, that looked when it left the bat to be maybe a double play ball.
I agree. I think Reed was getting ready to slide and try to break up the double play. Then all of a sudden he had to grab another gear and get to third.
Breaking ball misses outside, and the count evens at 1-1. Now that changes the complexion of the inning big time right here.
Well, you see Texas is going to push the middle infielders back. They'll get in double play depth. They'll go ahead and give up 1 run to turn 2.
Now you got a hitter's count. Sometimes it's not about base on balls. It's just putting back-to-back hitters in hitters counts on a regular basis.
Doubt. Predictable counts.
Got away with it there. Made a good pitch. Mathis couldn't put it in play. And now you're looking for the strikeout. If you've got that pitch in your repertoire, this is when you need it. Bokey set. Missed inside. Almost gets away from McCann. Now how aggressive are you? Put him in motion here.
Yeah, and it's a good question. I mean, we know about McCann. He throws the ball well.
Garza's not a guy that runs.
He's not a runner. I mean, this could easily be a strike him out, throw him out if you miss.
Instead, he misses downstairs, and that loads him up.
Mason Bryant for the Horns throwing, but he's got the jacket on. I don't know if he's throwing with. Not like he's trying to get ready, but
there's coach on the phone right there. He might speed him up a notch or two.
Yeah. Got to take my sweatshirt off. Plus, getting loose is coming to a ball game.
Yeah, I think he's fixing to.
Steps in. First pitch misses inside.
I got to go talk to him right here. If you do want Mason Bryant in this ball game, give him a chance to get loose.
Bryant has removed his outer cover. Back up and throwing. Inside again, and all of a sudden, base on balls, very important. LSU 9 for 16 this season with the bases loaded. They're 1 for 1 in this series with them loaded. Had enough on that one to get it by him.
Talked about it in the opening. You needed something from the bottom of the order. Well, they're on base now.
Well, you've got a little bit too. If you look, Chris Reed's got a base hit. Garza's got a base hit.
To center, not very deep. This will not get the job done. Ellis able to come up with it for the first out of the inning, and that's a gigantic out for Texas.
Huge. I mean, absolutely huge. Now ground ball double play gets you out of the inning, and Brant Broussard with an opportunity there to drive a run home some way, just couldn't get it done. But bad news for Texas. Josh Smith steps to the plate.
Yeah. Pierce on the way to the mound. He's going to make a move here. He's going to the bullpen. So Mateo Bokey comes in, struggles, gives up back-to-back base hits and a walk. And it will be Mason Bryant coming in. You look at this scenario, bullpens, you know, we mentioned it a while ago, Ben, that the bullpen for LSU probably in better shape, even though they've lost the first 2 ball games. They're probably in better shape than Texas bullpen is, because Texas doesn't have Quintanilla left in their bullpen.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, Todd Peterson's a closer. Obviously, he has not pitched. Fontenot is the setup guy for LSU. Neither one of them's pitched. So if you talk about the bullpens at this point, because Quintanilla did pitch 3 innings last night, you would think the advantage is to LSU to that point. Of course, if the freshman Cole Henry continues to throw like he is, he can bridge that gap and get right to those back 2 guys.
You guys are not as cold as I am, and I'm the only one's wearing a cap. Y'all had them on a while ago, but y'all take them on because we go on camera.
I haven't put mine on yet. I don't know what you're looking at over there.
I did have one on, and I'm probably going to put it right back on as soon as we get off camera.
Now, Zeke, on the backside, what can you tell us about Mason?
Well, Mason, the upside for him, I mean, he's a great athlete. He was a good wide receiver in high school, just a freshman, the size, the fastball. He can throw it in the mid-90s. So I think the moment doesn't get to him. He's pitched in some games so far, and the moment hadn't gotten to him, but none bigger than right now. Bases loaded, 1 out against the #1 team in the nation.
Well, his first appearance ever is at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Had to come in the 10th inning with the team with the lead, where they expenditured a lot of stuff and had to get 3 big outs. That's his first career appearance was coming at that point. So
bullpen's been really good in the series. 6 innings, only 3 hits and 8 strikeouts. 7 of those by Cole Quintanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Quintanilla was unbelievable last night.
See the numbers? Guys, it's warmed up all the way to 44. So it's up 1 degree from where we started.
Yeah, what happened to I kept hearing was, well, sun's going to come out. The sun's going to come out.
Well, the winds picked up.
Listen, Arizona.
Oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah. We're going to have a pinch runner for the Tigers. DiGiacomo will be the pinch runner. Gio. In as Smith steps to the plate. Bryant's first pitch on the ground. Regan bobbles, can't come up with it. And the Tigers have taken the lead. It was going to be tough to get 2, but he should have gotten out on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if you double up Josh Smith on the ball hitting the hole. Regan had to go all the way in that 6 hole to the backhand side. I think he certainly had time to get Mathis at second base, see him go right there. But just see how he raised up. He picked his head up, looking to second base, and that was just enough for that glove to come up just enough and hit the bottom of the glove.
Shown a little inexperience right there. Threw an under. I don't think he needed to throw the ball to second, and almost threw the ball away.
So Watson comes up now, 1 for 3 in the ball game. As the Tigers have taken the lead here. Still just 1 out in the inning. Downstairs, not far enough away.
You know, this has not been a clean series defensively for either one of these clubs, and I think it's something that both of them have to be a little bit concerned about. Texas, I mean, when I think about Texas, I always think about pitching and defense.
Yes.
Pitching and defense, a team that wins by doing those things. Texas not fielding it very well this year, but neither is LSU. LSU's fielding percentage, .973 this year. That's well below where they normally is. Texas at .962, and when I think of Texas,
that's
not a good number for them.
That's not a good number.
Or LSU, so I think both clubs are going to take out of this series, and we got to clean our defense up.
Chop foul, and the count evens.
And see, defense is contagious too, as third base coach Nolan Cain makes an error in the third base coaching box.
That is the 6th miscue by Texas in this series.
Yeah.
Speaking of, LSU has made 3 as well.
Because both of these clubs have been right at the tops of the country in defense the last few years.
Watson pushes it into right center, uses the breeze. It falls in. Another run comes in to score. LSU keeps adding, and it's a 5-3 ball game. Boy, Watson is just so good at contact. Just reaches out, catches it on the head of the bat.
You talk about it's on a 2-1, a hitter's count, and a fastball up and out over the plate. Not trying to do too much with it right there.
Don't want to place this guy in this scenario very often.
Ty Madden up now, throwing with some urgency in the Texas bullpen.
Duplantis has reached on a walk, a miscue, has flied to right. Pitch in there for a strike. And the 0-2. Just misses.
Pretty good pitch there.
You know, you get base running.
We talk about, you know, reading, watch the read. Brock Mathis not quite sure if this ball is going to fall. He's going back to the back. You see Josh Smith? Josh Smith got the good read. You see how he looked back at Mathis? Is like, hey, that ball's falling the whole time. And that's what you guys were talking about. When you're out at second base, you need to turn and look and see where the outfielders are so you know when marginal balls go up if they're going to stay in or not.
Going back, that is a huge out right there as Duplantis is retired.
He's shaking his head. He has one hit on the weekend and came in.
He came in on fire.
Yes.
I mean on fire for LSU, but Texas has pitched him really, really good.
Still another tough customer right here. And Cabrera, as he comes to the plate with him loaded. Out at the bottom of the zone for strike one. He doesn't like the call, does Cabrera. Downstairs and the count evens. On the ground, foul. Count goes 1-2.
Clean down there in the first base coach's box.
The 1-2 from Bryant. Got him upstairs, and that ends the inning. Not before damage done by the Tigers. They put a 2 spot on the board and lead here 5-3.
The eyes of Texas are upon Longhorn Extra this week.
I promised myself when I stepped on campus I'll do everything I can to help win a Big 12 championship or a national championship.
Me being back on the court will motivate the guys to want to play harder.
Go beyond the 40 acres for the stories you need to hear about the people who make Texas great.
Something positive to do for the Black community and young girls watching the game.
Longhorn Extra this week, Thursday at 7 on LHN.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better. And the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to like really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game plan with Shaka Smart, Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
This is hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
The starting pitching has been outstanding.
A big strikeout for Henley.
What a play! Dynamite performance.
We came here to win. Baby, we came here to win.
Both these teams answering each other. LSU got on the board first. Texas answered with 3. LSU came back with 2 to tie and just put another 2 spot on the board to take a 5-3 lead. 4-5-6 due for Texas. Cole Henry out for his second inning work. He was really good, Ben, coming out of the bullpen for the Tigers in the 5th.
Yeah, he really was. He pounded the strike zone. Fastball was up to 96. Showed you a good breaking ball. Showed you changeup he threw for a strike as well.
The 0-1 to Zubia. Nose to toes and in there for a strike.
That's a buckler. Just freezes the hitter.
He comes out of the same spot as that fastball, man.
That's right.
And that as a hitter is the one that kills you. Zubia stays on this and gets it back through the box.
We've seen this a few times this weekend for freshman pitchers on both sides. You make an outstanding pitch to go 0-2, and you try to think you got to be better with it, you know, and you try to amp up. You leave it hanging right out over the plate, and all of a sudden you get an 0-2 base hit. And Zubia is one of those guys You can't hang a breaking ball to him, especially after you showed it to him the pitch before. You got to drop it down a little bit below the pitch before, and that one hung up in the zone and right back up the middle.
That brings Ryan Reynolds to the plate. Ryan, off to a fantastic start on the year. We're almost 20% through the season already, and he's at a 362 clip. 1 for 2 in this one. Switch hitter.
You see the glasses. I've asked him. He wears contacts, but has been wearing the glasses now, prescription at the plate, and really improved his average, seeing the ball really well.
That's a big base hit, and here comes Texas right back. I'm telling you, this has been punch and counter punch in this ball game.
Should expect a bunt right here. Got to make a pretty good bunt with Big Zach on second base. Not much speed down there.
You got to get the third baseman to field the bunt. If you do, doesn't matter. I can't run out of sight in a week, and I can still get to third if you make the third baseman bunt.
If nobody's there, you're in, huh?
I'm in.
You get in trouble to do the old wheel play, and the shortstop beats you to third base. Then you're in trouble.
Oh, Nelly.
Let's see if they got a wheel play right here. You never know.
Shaw steps in. Tate, sacrifice his last time up and has fly to right. Henry comes set. Long look in first. Now he's ready. On the ground, this could be 2. The second for 1 to relay to first in time. 4-6-3 and a beauty. Pitcher's best friend.
That's one of those plays you could have bunted, stayed out of the double play. You decide not to. The ball struck really well. Unfortunately for Texas, it goes right to that 4-hole. Broussard standing there, quick flip to Smith and back over to Beloso. The Tigers turn a big double play.
It's the third double play turn by the Tigers in this series. They had not turned to double play in the previous 6 ball games. Oh, 0-1 to McCann. Hit well to center, but playable. Under, puts it away. Back-to-back big hits lead to nothing. 5-3 LSU.
This has hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
The starting pitching has been outstanding.
A big strikeout for Henley. What a play! Dynamite performance.
We came here to win. Baby, we came here to win.
Get excited, Whataburger fans. Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
If you love mushrooms, you're gonna love this burger.
The double cheese, the mushrooms was absolutely amazing.
These mushrooms are beautiful.
It's a really good balance between the mushrooms and the Swiss, and that au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
It really complements the mushrooms. Everything just works perfectly together.
It's just perfect. Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger. Here for a limited time.
You can talk a big game. You can say we're nothing special, that we don't have what it takes. You can say we're not big enough, not fast enough, not strong enough. You can say you'll beat us in our house, that we're overrated. You can say a lot of things, but there's only one thing for sure. Actions speak louder than words.
Longhorn Nation, we're back. Johnson, touchdown, Texas. Go Mars. Go Tigers. And the ball comes out. Oh, across the middle. Floated in there on the sideline. Touchdown.
LSU and Texas. Coach Herman, Coach O, right there at DKR on the 7th of September this year. That will be hopping here in the area. then a return trip to Death Valley in 2020. Last time LSU and Texas played, guys, can y'all remember? Football game.
It was a bowl game, wasn't it?
Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
When? 2003 Cotton Bowl.
I don't even remember who won.
Texas, 35-20.
I knew you remind me of that.
Bryant. This ball hit well. Will it stay fair? Home run distance, no doubt, but hooking foul across Comal Street.
I think you got all of that one.
It's still going. But a strike.
It's a long strike is all it is. When you talk about raw power, you've been to LSU, out straight away right field, that big old sign that has a national championship logo.
Yes,
they call it the Intimidator. Hit one on the top of that sign the other day in batting practice. I mean, he's got some juice. He can run it out there.
The 1-2. Got him.
He can also do that too. He can swing and miss.
Second strikeout for Bryant. He's coming into the game. 5 runs on 6 hits. No miscues for LSU. Texas, 3 runs on 6 hits. They committed 2 errors in the ball game. We're in the final third of the ball game right now. And it's the first time we've seen the opportunity for the Tigers to come to the plate and add to a lead.
Right. They would love to do that. There you go. Zeke, you got one of those?
Yeah, I busted out on occasion, so I wouldn't wear it to the ball game.
Or to get no nachos on it, no mustard.
I bet it's warm.
I hope it is.
It better be,
It better be.
1-1. Good location there. Reed, the senior, Baton Rouge. He's in 417 on the year. He's done a nice job in this series. Couldn't catch up to that one.
That's 3 straight lefties, and all 3 have chased that high fastball. It's getting out of his hand really good. Got a little run on it. Can't catch up with that high one.
Giacomo steps in. Gio, freshman from Naples, came on as a pinch runner, his first plate appearance. Just misses outside. Steps back in. Misses inside. Got a challenge here. Tried to overthrow it. Now he's going to work all the way back. This is upstairs. And that's a little bit, guys, what y'all have been talking about the entire series. When young guys is staying focused through the entire inning.
Yeah, finishing it. Finishing what you start. We saw Cole Henry do it in the 5th inning. He strikes out the first 2, walks the 3rd batter. All of a sudden you get Brian here, punch outs the first 2, you walk the 3rd batter. And Gio,
wrong guy to walk, huh?
Wrong guy to walk. He may not be over at first base very long. You may see him take off on the 1st or 2nd pitch.
What a good lead.
Not going. Pitch almost hits and gets away from McCann. Now he's in scoring position. See how they call that.
Should be only one way to call that.
I would agree with you.
Right.
Wasn't necessarily the way I'd call it, but it's called a wild pitch. This is outside, and it's 2-0. Good hitters count right here to Mathis. who's had a really good ball game, guys. He singled and scored, hit by a pitch, scored, walked.
Bottom of the order have scored 4 of the 5 runs.
Yeah, man, we talked about it. Could LSU get some production 5 through 9? Well, they've done it today.
On the ground, tough play for Reynolds. Has to back up, long throw across the diamond, offline, and here comes Giacomo in to score. When you have to gator and back up at third, it makes it very difficult. And Mathis used his speed. He doesn't run like a normal catcher.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But we talked about the Texas defense too, guys. I mean, that's a tough play, but still a play Reynolds certainly is capable of making. I think if he does have a good throw across the diamond, even though Mathis got out of the box really good, I think he still makes the play. We'll take a look at it here. Yeah, I think he still gets him. I mean, it's going to be close.
Tried to put a little extra on it. Shaw couldn't get to it. Call that E5.
There are times, too, when you might want to use that turf.
Yeah.
Throw a long one-hopper over there. At least to give your first baseman a chance to catch it.
Single E5.
Oh, single E5.
No RBI. Fouls it back. Quickly down on the count 0-2. Goes back to the 2-out walk.
2-out walk and a wild pitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's on first base, right? I mean, obviously not going to, probably not score. Good speed, but probably not going to score.
The 0-2. All back. Ben, you mentioned it, though. Both these teams, it has not been clean defensively.
No.
That's the 10th error between these two clubs this weekend.
These two clubs are going to have to clean up the defense. There's no doubt.
Well, for Texas, 2 years ago, made 80-plus errors last year, cut it down to 50-plus, and a big difference to me why they made it to Omaha was their defense.
Breaking ball got him outside corner. Struck out the side, but not before the Tigers had one.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better, and the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to, like, really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game Plan with Shaka Smart, Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
The eyes of Texas are upon Longhorn Extra this week.
I promised myself when I stepped on campus I'll do everything I can to help win a Big 12 championship or a national championship.
Me being back on the court will motivate the guys to want to play harder.
Go beyond the 40 acres for the stories you need to hear about the people who make Texas great.
It was something positive to do for the black community and young girls watching the game.
Longhorn Extra this week, Thursday at 7 on LHN.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on Game Plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
People up trying to move around just to get some heat going. I mean, that's a floss holding on to your hat.
Yeah, you had to blow away this win.
Flosito.
LSU has doubled up Texas at this point. Lead here 6-3. Texas down to 9 outs offensively. They will send the 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate for Texas here. As Cole Henry comes on, he's been really good coming out of the bullpen.
25th pitch, he's thrown 17 for strikes.
Yeah, it's been one of his better outings so far. As far as throwing strikes, the stuff's there. There's no denying the stuff.
Catches the inside corner.
And you just get the feeling if he can bridge that gap and get through the 7th here, you may see Fontenot in the 8th and then Peterson in the 9th for LSU.
talked about the bullpens probably would be an advantage of LSU today. It's been that way so far. On the ground to third. Reed across the diamond. In time. We can see the bottom part of the order. You look at the summary of the ball game, but the big point has been the point you made. 5 through 9 had really struggled. 0 for 28 in the first 2 ball games.
Yeah, I mean, it was just nothing for LSU's offense toward the bottom. That's not been the case today. They have produced, and LSU currently has a 6-3 lead.
You know, the one person that, Zeke, that may be warm today is Regan, because he's played in Amherst. He was raised in Amherst, but it's actually warmer in Amherst today than it is here at Dish Falk.
Yeah, in the 40s there right now with the wind chill. It's in the 30s here in Austin.
Yeah. 2 quick strikes.
He's jumped ahead 8 of the 10 hitters with first pitch strikes.
The 0-2. Outside corner. Paint.
That's not fair there.
No, it isn't.
Just come in 0-2 count. Catcher rocks to the outside corner. Look where Mathis is. And I mean, knocking the black off the outside corner to about 95. Can't do it a whole lot better than that.
Regan's still thinking about the curveball last at bat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that that's unhittable. Back to the top of the order to Ellis. 0 for 3 in this one. He's been so good at the top of this order the entire season, reaching base. He has not reached in this ball game. (1-0). Swing and a miss. Henry looking. Here he comes. Downstairs. Awful lot of pitches throughout the weekend. 74 Ellis has seen. 14th plate appearance over the weekend. So you just average that out. That's a ton of pitches per at bat.
That's an amazing number. It really is when you think about it.
The 2-2. Tied him up inside. We'll do it again. Ellis. He's a no sleeves guy. Hard to believe.
Started the game with sleeves.
That's right.
He might have to put some on. He had them on earlier in the game.
Asks for time and backs out. Got it by him upstairs. Henry, 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Tigers lead by 3.
Casserole again. Yay.
Cooking for everybody is hard. Mama Foo's is easy. Visit mamafoo's.com to get the app and order now.
Coach Aston dives into the playbook on Game Plan.
We're learning to stay focused defensively, which is a major progression from where we were in the first semester.
Get the inside scoop on the players.
We couldn't get her out of the funk, so now we have to get her out of the gym.
And the strategy to win each week.
Pay attention to the detail of making the next play.
Plus some Longhorn insight.
The starting lineup has changed so much, but you know, the people who have been put in that position have made the most of it.
Game Plan with Karen Aston on Longhorn Network.
The start of the Mike White era. Texas has broken this game wide open.
That hit the free taco sign. That ball was smashed.
Texas softball on Longhorn Network.
You look at the Tigers' upcoming schedule. Obviously, California coming in. Good team out west for a weekend series. You have the midweek series, and then it won't be long. March 15th, conference play underway. Yeah. Kentucky.
It's coming fast for a lot of these coaches, still trying to make a lot of decisions, you know, and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But you know, you figure that's Holy Cross, you know, for LSU. And
you can see just in the Western Division, Arkansas, LSU, and Ole Miss in the top 12. And, oh, by the way, Auburn and Mississippi State right there as well.
Yeah, we talked about Texas A&M. You don't even see them on the scoreboard, but you got to think they're going to be ranked probably after this weekend.
No doubt.
For sure in the West. I mean, we were looking at the SEC West, you know, before the game started. There's not a team out of the 7 in the West that's got more than 2 losses, you know, to just show you how strong they've been
exactly right.
to this point.
Young man from Cypress, Texas, Ty Madden, making his 3rd appearance. Zeke, it's a good-looking arm.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Mid-90s fastball, a wipeout slider. It's another young arm for these Longhorns, another freshman pitcher with really good stuff. We've seen a lot of good pitching, a lot of young arms on both sides this weekend.
Sides, yeah, the future is certainly bright for both of these teams, both of these programs when it comes to arms.
On the ground, Shaw has it, taking himself for the first out. Well, if you're a Texas fan right now, you got to throw a 0 up here. You're down to 6 outs offensively, and as you mentioned, nobody up in the bullpen at this point.
Yeah,
closer still available.
I'm a little bit surprised Fontenot's not heating up. You know, maybe Cole Henry they think is doing so well that they're going to try to get him one more inning and go straight to Peterson.
Upstairs for ball 1. Zach Watson, big knock his last time up, off of the fist. Back out of play, and a nice catch. Watson's had a good weekend. 357 on the year as he steps in right now. Not only outstanding in the outfield, but he's been really good at the plate. Fouls it back. On Friday night, he made an outstanding play.
Yeah, he did. It was all about the jump, too. I mean, out in center field. His former shortstop in high school has made the transition to center field. He was shaded over toward left center field gap. How about that? Talk about covering some ground.
Breaking ball misses down and away. And it's 2-2 to Zach. Did he go? Yes, he did. Gets the strikeout. First one for Madden. He's coming into the game.
Take a look from the side view right here. Yep,
oh,
he got around there.
I thought he did. They got that one right. The umpire did. I still can't get over the one from yesterday. That's the one got me laughing.
That would have been a homer, maybe.
Oh, no doubt, because it was Zubia, wasn't it?
Yes.
Back to Madden. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the 8th. Longhorns searching for 3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better. And the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to, like, really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game plan with Shaka Smart. Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
This is hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
Baby, we came here to win.
What starts here creates leaders and sparks our future. What starts here lights our way. What starts here leads to answers to the world's toughest problems. What starts here builds opportunity and lifts up our communities. What starts here feeds the soul. What starts here changes the world. the University of Texas at Austin.
We go to the home half of the 8th. Texas searching for some runs to get back in this ball game. I tell you what, out in center, see our guys out there paying the price today. Bundle up, guys. Y'all are as cold as I am. Y'all are cold. They've done the job. Across the board today.
Bobby's up here with us, and it's still cold.
Telling you. Corny and Centers, I guarantee you cold up on that top of that platform. It says 43 degrees, feels like 38. I'd say 34. I'm going to add to that.
I'm with you.
Kennedy checks his swing and cannot on the first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Boy, this has really been an outing that maybe Henry is showing that he deserves to get the ball on a regular basis.
No doubt. I mean, I think he's penciled in for some midweek starts. There's no doubt about that.
This ball hit well down the left field line. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, it does. Into the corner, and the young freshman Kennedy continues to swing a good bat. Second double of the ball game.
We always talk about letting the ball travel on you, get deep. That's what Eric Kennedy does right here. Gets the fastball out over the plate, gets it back there and just drives it, just keeps it fair down that left field line. Ball hops in the stands for the ground rule double.
That brings Todd to the plate. Kennedy's had a great weekend. 6 hits over the course of the weekend for Eric. Todd, big blow in this game, 2-run homer. Back in the 3rd inning. That is nasty.
You haven't seen a good swing on it. Even the one he hung to Zubia, it was still more of just a fight it off.
It's got that late depth, guys. I mean, it just comes down out of nowhere, just late.
Todd on the year is 11 for 20 with runners in scoring position. So he has been outstanding. Fouled off right side, out of play. Activity, Ben, in the bullpen for the Tigers.
Yeah, there he is, Todd Peterson. And Maneri's not afraid to move him in for a 2-inning save, you know, or inning and 2/3, whatever it takes. Especially the fact he hadn't thrown it all this weekend, so pretty fresh he is.
One of those scenarios where it's a little bit different to get loose on a day like today than it is a normal day out of the bullpen.
That's about the only place in the ballpark that's out of the wind.
Right. Yeah, that's only plus, yes.
It's coming from the northeast, and it's behind you and coming into that wall.
1-2 to Todd. Breaking ball off of the fist, knocked down. Nice job. Gets the out. Kennedy moves up to 3rd. But a big pitch right there to give a big out for Henry. We're going to see a change right now.
Well, Cole Henry, you see him, he's up to, you know, about 45 pitches, so that's probably the most he's thrown in a game this year. When you got Todd Peterson down in the bullpen, who's been, you know, really effective for LSU. Second half of the season last year, so far this year. And the fact he hadn't thrown any innings, any pitches in this series so far, you think he can go ahead and get you 5 outs.
You see Peterson coming into the game, but
yeah,
he made some appearances doing some other things.
Look, he got put in the SEC tournament last year and had to come in and he had to hit, you know, and Coach asked him before, you know, he said, have you ever hit? Coach, I hit nukes in high school, he told him. He said, I could hit. So Coach put him in the game anyway, and he comes up and, I mean, laces a double. And then Hoover's a big ballpark.
Big ball.
And almost got out of the ballpark, straight down the line, hit it off the top of the wall and cruised into second base. And of course, after the game, he told Coach, I was terrible at hitting in high school. I just lied to you. I wanted to bat. Like all pitchers do. He couldn't tell the truth. He wanted to hit.
So here we go.
Todd Peterson making his first appearance at the plate.
What did Paul Maneri tell you?
He's like, yeah, did you ever hit in high school? I go, I hit bombs. He's like, all right, swing away.
Oh, he tattoos it off the wall. A 2-run double for Todd Peterson.
Coach, I'll be honest, I didn't hit in high school. My coach
What?
didn't let me.
So you lied to me?
I wanted to swing.
He doesn't have to tell the truth right there, but he did. That's what makes it even better.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you, Peterson's not the best athlete as far as pitchers go. You know, and so he took the first swing and he picked his leg up like I went, well, dang it. I mean, now he swung late, then all of a sudden he threw him another heater about belt high, and he melted it down the line. Of course, that was. You see what he's done this year. He does have one save, 4 1/3. Get up a couple of runs, few strikeouts, but he's a big fella. I mean, when he cranks it up, he hit 98 on the radar gun in Baton Rouge just about last week. But typically, he's going to be, you know, 92 to 95 is what he's going to do. Pretty good breaking ball to go with it.
Pretty compact, big man
for a big guy.
But
yes.
He's pretty compact with his delivery.
Yeah, he knew he really turned the corner for LSU. He began the year last year when you guys were in town, when Texas was in town. He was in the weekend rotation.
Yes, he was.
And he struggled in that role. And then just out of knee, got put in the back of the bullpen and got an opportunity for a save about halfway through the season last year and really took off and I think really found his place
Now, was
where
that,
he wanted to
was
be.
that 2018 All-SEC tournament team? Was that as a pitcher or a hitter?
That's right.
Well, he only batted 1,000. That's right. He could have been
a couple
a hitter.
RBIs. Slugging percentage up there.
Zach Zubia steps in. Zach 1 for 3. Kennedy at third base. Need base runners if you're Texas. This is inside with a heater. Almost had a little cut to that fastball.
He'll get around it occasionally. I think it's by accident. He'll cut it down and away from the right-handers. The ball's got some life to it.
The 1-1. Nothing fancy about that. That's hardball right there.
Yeah,
It's 1 and 2.
Well, he plays old country hardball. Look how he wears it. You don't see many stirrups in college baseball anymore. He's got the stirrup, the old school look. Got some stirrups on there.
Misses outside and the count evens. Texas started 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. They're 0 for their last 5. 2 for 8 on the day. Time call.
Zuby is just one of those guys that scare you when you're on the mound, you know, because you know he can run into one at any time.
Just gets a piece of it, keeps the at-bat alive, and I think was a breaking ball.
That was the breaking ball, yep. It's a hard slider. He'll shape it different from time to time, take a little bit off. That was a hard, almost like a cut fastball there.
The 2-2 again. Got him. First strikeout for Peterson.
That's tough to get a hold of right there. You're thinking mid-90s, you got to amp it up. Then he starts that breaking ball right on the outer third and just kind of bends it off the outside corner. I don't care who's at the plate right there, Keith Moreland. Ain't nobody going to hit that one.
Agreed. Right side.
Right
for
side.
Sure.
That's right.
Ryan Reynolds has had a good ball game. 2 for 3 as he steps in. Switch hitter has some pop. Peterson's 1-0 delivery. Great tilt, too, to go with that. Two and 1 to Reynolds. To left. Down. Third hit of the day for Reynolds. This could go for extra bases. Reynolds on his way to second with a sliding double.
That's just it. With the velocity that Peterson throws, you don't have to try to overswing, and right there, just a nice, easy swing. Like Ryan didn't know where it went off the bat. Kind of came out and surprised him.
It's a nice swing, you're right. Hands go first, inside outside, takes a fastball that's actually running kind of down and away from him, and just stayed on it and drove it to left field.
Texas gets within 2. That is the 5th extra base hit of the day for Texas. Pitch gets away. Reynolds moves up 90 feet.
How interesting would it be to get this one in with 2 outs?
Tate Shaw, as he steps in here, he's 0 for 2. Into a 4-6-3 double play his last time up. The 1-0. Just threw it right by him. You know fastball's coming.
Yeah, that's a big swing. You don't need the big swing with the velocity that he's throwing.
Shaw in the year has been good with runners in scoring position. Texas has been good today, guys. All 4 runs have scored with 2 outs.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, too much. You went around, that's when you're thinking too much. Guys got this kind of thing. Head of the bat to the ball. Head of the bat short, quick, head of the bat to the ball.
Sweet, just let it jump. Let him create the momentum.
That's doing a power pitcher a favor right there when you're overswinging.
No doubt. 2-2 delivery. Backdoor breaking ball catches the corner, and that ends the inning. Texas does get on the board. They cut into the 3-run lead. It's a 2-run lead as we go to the 9th.
Shaka Smart's got the game plan.
You got to just be able to clear your mind, focus on the current play, the current moment.
Coach dishes on the players.
He's playing better and better, and the sky's the limit for Jackson. He is really just scratching the surface of what he can do.
And the playbook.
It comes down to, like, really getting at it on defense.
Plus, some horns stop by and sound off.
Hard over height, man. The most successful I've been is when I played hard over height.
Game plan with Shaka Smart, Tuesday at 9:30 on Longhorn Network.
This has hit a ton. Goodbye, home run.
The starting pitching has been outstanding.
A big strikeout for Henley. What a play! Dynamite performance.
We came here to win. Baby, we came here to win.
With his 1993 big screen debut, this Longhorn took Hollywood by storm. He transformed himself for the film Dallas Buyers Club and won his first Oscar in 2014.
I got a prize for excellence, something that's not my hobby, it's my career. That feels wonderful.
With more than 50 credits to his name, dozens of awards, a heart for charity, and an undying devotion to his university, Matthew McConaughey. He's a Longhorn legend.
You know, there's times when you make a big pitch, sometimes you got to take a look, and that's exactly what he does. He takes a look into the Longhorn dugout.
Take another look. There it goes. He's staring down Tate and then staring down the dugout. You got to have that in you if you're a closer.
That's
right there.
If you're going to close out games, you better have a little extra to you.
Down the left field line, just fading foul. Cabrera, you just look at this series. Friday night was all about Bryce Elder. He really did an outstanding job. Kennedy's had a big weekend, no doubt. And then the other part of that for me is starting pitching inability for LSU to throw strikes in this series has been a major part.
For the most part today, they've had the best pitched game 20 walks in the series coming into this game, only 2 in this ball game.
That's right. And it's amazing when you throw strikes as a pitcher, more than not, good things will happen.
Kennedy comes on to make the play right there. Well, just go back to this, exactly what you said right there. There's no defense for a base on balls. If the ball's put in play, you can play defense.
I know, and it's tough for us pitchers sometimes because we lose confidence. But at the end of the day, it's a round ball and a round bat, right? And coach wants you to square it up. It's a hard thing to do, you know. And when you fill up the zone in a ballpark like this, a lot of times you're going to have success. But like you said, LSU, like you said, had put on 21 runners, 1 hit by pitch, 20 walks in 2 games, and you just can't beat. Like Paul Maneri said, you can't beat a quality team on the road putting up those kind of numbers.
Fastball inside corner. We're seeing some guys that let it go.
Yeah.
Madden's letting it go right here too.
And young, strong arms.
Upstairs. Foul back out of play. And the count evens at 2-2. Peeking ahead for Texas in the bottom. Trying to chase at least 2. Ball pull foul. If not more, it'll be the bottom third of the order due for Texas. Got him upstairs. Hard to catch up to that heater.
3rd time today they've got Beloso.
Yep.
2nd in a row with that high heater.
I love that. Get ahead in the count and expand that zone. Show him one up. If you get the old 5 pitch we used to call it, get it up about chest high. If he doesn't offer it, I've changed my eye level like we talked about. Now I can go back down with a breaking ball or something else.
But guys, I say this all the time. That pitch has got to be over the plate. If it's up and away or up and in, I'm not
no
hacking.
good.
But if it's over the plate, I'm hacking.
I used to try to look right at the catcher's mask, and I wanted to throw my fastball right there, right at the top of his head where I wanted to be. Because you're right, because if it's up and in, you know, it can still serve a purpose, but he's not going to swing at that ball. And if it's way up and away, he's not either. But if you can get it right over the heart of the plate, just about letter high, it's money.
That was the 30th strikeout by Texas pitching in this series. Foul back out of play. And the count evens at 2-2. On the ground, Ford, who just came into the game at 2nd, makes the play, and that ends the inning. 6-4, LSU out in front. And guys, when you look at this weekend and how do you evaluate and things are going on, here we are in game 3. LSU is 3 outs away from securing 1 of the 3 games. What is the first thing, Ben, that's jumped off the page for you about the weekend?
Well, I think if you're talking LSU, I think the pitching has to get better. We talked about the free passes. That's got to get better. The other thing for me is I like the first 4 or 5 guys in LSU's lineup. The question is, can they produce down towards the bottom of that lineup? They've done it today. They're winning on the scoreboard. When I look at Texas, I saw a team coming in that's batting average wasn't great, but I see why they're 2nd in the Big 12 in scoring runs. They're a very patient team. They foul off a lot of balls. They get on base. They make things happen, and they're scoring right at 7 runs a game. So I like the pitching for Texas. I like the way they get on base. I think there's enough offense there. There's no Cody Clemens anymore. We know that we're not going to hit 24 home runs like we did last year, but it's a good enough team with some good arms at the back end of this bullpen. I can see Texas being a postseason team without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. With the starting pitching they got today, a little shaky from Coy Cobb, but the starting pitching has pitched well for the most part. You got the back end of the bullpen, like you said. The 2-out hitting, 2-out run scoring for Texas this weekend. Defense, a little shaky. I mean, they haven't been typical Texas defense this weekend, or for the most part, the whole season. Yeah. So they got to clean that up. And LSU, I mean, the top of the order, that's impressed me more than anything.
Yeah, and the other part here, folks, that I'm looking at is I don't know that I have seen 6 to 8 arms on each club that are this young. freshman arms. We've seen some really good arms. They're going to get better because you know by the middle part of the season of conference play to the postseason, young freshmen grow up.
That's right, and you're going to need, and you hope they continue to get those valuable innings in these midweek games. Some guys will jump in and get some starts in midweek games. And, you know, we don't know what any of this is going to look like, say, a month and a half from now.
Sure.
It could be a totally different rotation for both of these teams. And so I think there's a couple guys that's going to stick for sure, but there's a lot of upside to both of these teams, no doubt.
Peterson out to try to close it out for the Tigers. McCann steps in. First pitch misses upstairs for ball one. 25, 26, and 27 are hard outs to get when you're trying to salvage a game in a series. Peterson is given that job here. The 1-1 breakable. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Peterson doesn't think so.
Yeah, what's strange about that is the umpire didn't call it right away. Watch this. There's no call at all by the umpire right now.
Ooh,
I don't know, guys.
I don't know about that either.
If it did, it was just a jersey. Just a little.
There's a jersey move right there. I did not see that Longhorn on that jersey make that little nick back.
The home plate umpire
trying to review this.
Doyle Suter. I think he let the batter in that situation almost talk him into that, and why wouldn't McCann did exactly what I mean. McCann knows. Yeah. I got to get away. I got to get on base.
You got to play the part.
I got to sell it, and he sold it, and he sold it to the home plate umpire, Doyle Suter, who did not originally make the call.
So there's going to be a base runner here, the hit batter, the tying. It is reviewable, guys. I'm surprised that they didn't get together and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm surprised in such a big situation that they didn't get together and review this.
Hibbler steps in. Now is the tying run. McCann at first base. Hibbler down the right field line, fading foul. You can see it right in the middle. Plays involving hit by pitch is a reviewable play. The crew has to get together. Our coach's challenge.
And I'm sure Paul Maneri was out saying, hey, could you just take a look at it? Please look at it and make sure here in the ninth inning that it was a hit by pitch.
Downstairs and the count evens. Hibbler 0 for 3 in this one as he steps in. He's had a good series. He was 3 for 7 coming into the ball game today, this weekend. On the ground, right side, into right field. And all of a sudden, a couple on here for Texas in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, we've seen the ball leave the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
The right field. You want to swing a bat away from doing that, but right now you can move these guys up 90 feet right here with nobody out. Lance Ford getting his first at bat of the ball game.
Yeah, Zeke, you're absolutely right. He came on defensively, and Hibbler moved to short in the top of this frame. So his first plate appearance of the day. Longhorn fans on their feet to make some noise here. He does square, bunts through it. Called it a strike. He got a piece of it.
Got a piece of Brock Mathis as well. Hasn't been a fun weekend, at least behind the plate for both catchers.
Both of these guys today
have taken abuse.
Have taken some beatings.
So Ford digs back in. 0-1. Top of the order, and Ellis awaits on deck. Excellent bunt out in front. Only play for Reed is first. He gets the out. Runners advance 90 feet.
But that's well done all the way around. Ford laid down a beautiful bunt off of a tough pitcher.
That's a nice play by Reed to get an out
and
there,
for a guy
too.
that hadn't had a lot of reps at third base this year, Reed read it well, came in on the throw, makes a good throw over to Peloso.
Yeah, it wasn't a firm bunt. He had to come a long way to get that bunt.
Ellis 0 for 4 in this one, but he's had a big blow in this series. 2-run shot on Friday night. 2 left-handers due for Texas here in a row. First pitch to Ellis misses upstairs for ball 1. Fouled away. Friday night, fastball up and out over the plate right here.
He centered it up right there. 4 steps out. He knew he got him. Both of his home runs at this level have been opposite field. That won't happen in this ball game. You're going to have to pull it to get it out of the park.
That's confidence there. Put the finger up when he hadn't even hit one this year, but he drove that one opposite way.
The 1-1 coming. Breaking ball, fouled it straight back. And anytime that ball goes right over the top of the catcher, you weren't that far away from being right on it.
He was on that one.
I think you climbed the ladder on him here. See if you can chase that high fastball.
I like it.
And as a hitter, you got to be conscious to lay off of that.
Just an elevated fastball just above the belt, center of the plate.
Able to get to it, but foul. That was the pitch that I was thinking of, but that's down 3 or 4 inches from where I was thinking.
Yeah.
So Ellis digs back in. Tying run 180 feet away out at second base. The 1-2 to Ellis. Fought it off, got to it. 82 pitches Duke Ellis has seen in this series. You would think in a great time, as a team, you might throw 300 pitches in the weekend.
Right.
One player for Texas has seen 83.
I still like the elevated fastball. He's had some decent swings, but I don't think he can drive it anywhere out to left or center field. I still like that. He showed me he was on the breaking ball a little bit.
Tried to backdoor him, missed outside, and the count evens at 2-2. Kennedy awaits on deck. He has had a big ball game. Couple of doubles today. He's driven in 5 over the weekend. Breaking ball on the ground. This will get a run home. It's going to be a tough play for Smith. Does he get the out? He does not. Great speed down the line. Smith came to get it as best he could. Get a chance to see the replay.
It looked like he was on the bag, ball in the dirt right there, right before it hits the glove, foot's on the bag.
This angle is tougher to see. You can't really tell when the ball's in the glove from that angle. I believe this will be reviewed.
What's this perfect angle right here? Foot on bag now, ball not in glove.
That's a much better angle.
Yes.
I just don't think, and even there's not enough evidence to overturn it anyway.
Right.
So the call in the field is what's going to count.
So we'll have our review here. I don't think this will take long, guys. I think that they're in a position to take a look at this. That will see this call, but now all of a sudden, tying run 90 feet away. Get a chance to see it one more time.
He's safe right there.
Secured there, but he's already coming up off of the bag. Runners will be at first and third here, at least in our opinion, or my opinion.
No, I think it's going to be first and third, no doubt.
One across in the frame, 6-5 ball game.
I'm just still trying to figure out why the hit by pitch was not
reviewed.
Was not reviewed. I don't understand that.
Never be too comfortable by saying, well, I got my closer out there. Might not be a big deal. But in this situation, it turns into a very big deal. Play stands.
All right, now the question is you put any pressure on LSU by maybe putting Ellis, who's a good runner, in motion here? Because sacrifice fly is not as easy today to drive a ball deep enough to get a sacrifice fly. Even though Hibbler runs well.
You're down one. Yeah, you got a runner on third. I don't want to run myself. Mathis with a good arm. I would hate to run myself out of it.
And I think if he does steal second this situation, I think Minerio will probably load the bases and you know.
Yeah, didn't go after Todd. You're right. Not running. First pitch misses outside for ball one. Tying run 90 feet away in Hibbler. Ellis at first, the winning run. One out in the frame. Bottom of the ninth. Catches the corner and the count evens. Time call. It's a lot of things. I think this is more of a defensive. This is why you bring everybody in, guys. This has nothing to do with talking to the pitcher here. I think you're talking about defense. And what are the scenarios you could have here? You could have safety squeeze. You could have a lot of different things, even though I don't like safety squeeze with left-handed hitters.
Yeah, you're right. I think this is clearly defense. I mean, you're talking about a first and third situation defensively. You know, forced balk, leaving early. If he steals, what we're going to do. And of course, any type of squeeze scenarios.
Well, left-handed pitcher squeeze. There's an open view for the catcher and the pitcher there. If a guy squares, you can just hold on to it a little bit long and throw it up and away. It's really difficult to get the bunt down. Now 2-1. Cabrera way off the line in left field right now, and Kennedy goes that way a lot.
Did his last at bat.
Yeah, because you get a hard shot down the line, you got a chance of scoring two, game's over.
Boom. Back to a breaking ball, gets the call, and the count evens.
That's why that's such a gamble, but you know,
I think that's,
you know, the way Ellis runs, that ball gets straight down the line and gets to the wall. Good chance. Game over. Ellis scores from first.
Back-to-back breaking balls. Does he go to it again here?
I like fastball in if he can get it there.
Does go in. Could be two to second for one. The relay to first. Not in time. And
he's safe at second.
He's safe at second base.
A bobble out there at second base after he'd already touched the bag. He tried to go back and touch second base. By then, Ellis was already in the safe.
I'm not sure Josh Smith had his footwork right at shortstop, and the ball kind of surprised him going back to him right here. He never found the bag right there.
They can come together here. May be reviewed, but great camera work by our guys right there. Got that. He never, at any point with the ball in his hands, did he make contact with the bag.
I think he had his timing down
right there.
But Peterson on the mound slightly bobbled it, so it took Smith's timing to the bag off slightly and was not on the bag. We're going to take a look at this one.
And then you know, as a player too, if you're Josh Smith right there, you sort of know you didn't get to the bag.
Yeah.
You know, that
you're hoping you got a toenail on it, but
something. But you know you didn't get a full corner of it or anything like that at this point. Let's go back and sort of review this inning. We had a pitch that was close. McCann was awarded first base on the hit by pitch, not reviewed.
Right.
Then you have the base hit by Hibbler, the bunt, and then you have the Ellis scenario, whether he's safe or not at first. It was reviewed. Now we have the review on the play by Kennedy. So, but you look up and it's a tie ball game. They're looking there. It's to be off the bag now. Is Kennedy there in time?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And Peterson had Hibbler at third base. Hibbler got hung up in no man's land, you know. But I mean, you think in that situation, if you catch it clean, you should be able to turn a double play here. But
he never touched the bag right there. Yeah, you're as a base runner, you're just expecting them to turn two. Game over.
And that's why you're at third in that situation. I think you do take off anyway because you want them to get you out, and that way they don't turn the double play to end the game.
Did he slide across it right there?
I think that's what they're looking at. Does he slide across the top of the bag? Because I don't think he stepped on. The only question is, does the right foot slide across the top of the bag?
If the score stands up, it's scored right now a fielder's choice E6 and an RBI. At this point, see what happens when they come back from the rear. Here comes right now. We'll get the idea. Safe on both ends. So let's reset the scenario. 2 across in the inning, guys. Still just 1 out in the frame, and Texas has tied it. Winning run is Ellis at second base as Austin Todd comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3. That one, a big one. Opposite field 2-run homer in the third. Six ball game, bottom of the 9th. "35 pitches for Peterson since coming into the game. His 36 coming here. Breaking ball just misses inside for ball 1. Austin Todd in game 3 of the year on Sunday afternoon hit a walk-off against the Raging Cajuns. 2018. Peterson set, 1-0 delivery. Up the middle, into center. Here comes Ellis. Throw to the plate. Texas wins.
Well, we talked about it before this weekend. There's no time clock. You can't run the clock out in this ball game, and that's one of the reasons why right there. I mean, you got to get 3 outs. The final, you said it before the inning, the 25th, 6th, and 7th of the game are the toughest to get out.
Give Texas credit too, boy. I tell you what, never looked back, never checked up, got down, found a way. Leadoff guy gets on, hit by pitch, base hit, and you can put yourself in a situation to win a ball game.
You breaking ball back through the box, and Ellis with his speed gives a win. But I go back to the 8th inning, guys. Really and truly, the opposite field double and then the 2-out double by Reynolds to get that run in the 8th.
Well, you peck away.
It sort of set a tone that, hey, we can still get back in this ball game now. Obviously, you got to score 3 in a night to win it, and they did it.
Yeah, no doubt when that ball got through the infield, he was going to score just too fast.
You look at the weekend, both these teams, again, it is early. This is a huge weekend for Texas. Obviously, I really liked what the Tigers did today to come back. They were very much back into this game, and you know, we're trying to salvage one.
Well, the pitching was better today for them as far as a control standpoint, not walking guys, and I thought that's something that they're going to have to improve on. LSU pitchers only walk, what, 2 today, strike out 7. So from that point, it's disappointing that Peterson couldn't finish it there at the end, you know, and finish up the game when he had a chance. But you got to give Texas credit. I mean, a couple of big base hits right up the middle. A little forced error by the LSU defense, you know, had something to do with that as well. Couldn't turn the double play. So all in all, awesome weekend for Texas. LSU going home, you know, tough weekend.
Let's go down to the eyes of Texas. Victorious, come from behind victory by the Texas Longhorns here in game 3 of this 3-game set. Texas sweeps the series, and you just look at the scenario going back to this. I still go back to that 8th inning. You know, you just chipped away right there. Sort of felt like got into the closer in the bullpen, and then in the ninth, that leadoff base runner with the hit by pitch is big. You know, you look at that scenario, that sort of set the table.
Well, it set the table, and like we said, it's a reviewable play. And in that situation, they didn't even go look at it. It could have saved a lot of stuff in that 9th inning, obviously, but it didn't. Texas still had to score 3 after getting a leadoff run.
Well, Hibbler comes back with a base hit. Then Ford does a great job getting the sacrifice down, and then Ellis's base hit just beats it out. That puts the first run up. Now you got runners at first and third, and the inability to turn a double play, whatever reason being, is the difference in the game.
Well, and that's going to be the talk around the water cooler tomorrow, especially around the Baton Rouge area, was, well, it wasn't a hit by pitch. And maybe it wasn't. And maybe it could have changed the whole complexion of the inning, but it didn't. But you still got to give Texas credit. They found a way to come up with some big base hits. LSU, a little mistake on defense right there, and all of a sudden Texas take advantage of it. Look, the game's about opportunities.
No doubt.
You have opportunities. The teams that take advantage of opportunities, no matter how you've given them, are the teams that end up, you know, making those runs to Omaha.
Wasn't a tie game or 1 run. Texas still had to get 3 across the plate. So, yeah, the slight bobble by Peterson. You saw him. He didn't get a good throw to second base, threw off the timing, and threw off the.
And we talked about defense. The defense for both of these clubs has got to get better. That's one of the things you're going to take out of this weekend is, hey, if we're going to make those runs that we want to go and go where we want to go, our defense has to get better.
Especially in these 2 conferences.
Well, we got the opportunity, I think, to go down and visit with the guy that got the game winner. Hey, you got your jersey back. They took it off of you earlier, didn't they, Austin? Well, congratulations. Walk us through that 9th inning.
Oh, man, we just put a lot of good quality ABs together and not try to do too much. That guy, he throws pretty hard. And we just try to say, you know, stay with our approach. Don't try to do too much. Let him supply the power, and it just worked out.
Well, Austin, you did it last year against Louisiana. This time against the #1 team in the nation. It's no better feeling. I know one doesn't feel better than the other.
No, it's a big win for us, and you know, it wouldn't happen without the guys on the bench and the guys ahead of me.
Dude, how about you, the home run in the 3rd inning, wind blowing in like it is, kind of cross out toward right field, and you go out that way for a home run. Were you surprised that ball got out of the ballpark?
I mean, a little bit, but I knew I hit it well. I knew it was first time through, he was going away, so my approach was, you know, to kind of stay away, and I knew I hit it real well. So,
all right, you know, you were a part of that club last year, even though you were injured at the beginning of the season. They had to make the trip to Baton Rouge. You know what that Sunday game meant for y'all to come back and win that Sunday game. What does this mean this year for it to hold on Sunday, where it looked like they were going to snatch one from y'all?
Well, you know, I mean, we just never going to back down. We're always going to fight, and I think it's big for us moving forward, but we're definitely not going to – we're going to start working towards Tuesday now, and that's a big game for us also.
Well, congratulations on a great ball game, and congratulations on the weekend sweep.
Thank you, sir.
Catch your breath.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts, guys. What did you think?
Well, it was
so much fun.
It was built up as a great series, and it was. I mean, two teams that played opposites for a couple games, but to end it like this, it was just a great series.
No, it really was. I mean, two blue bloods got together. It was awesome. I appreciate you guys having me. I'd love to come back.
Man, anytime. 7-6 Texas final. Don't forget Tuesday night, game day, as UT Rio Grande comes. See you from the dish.
We are inside the Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, as the Longhorns go head-to-head with the Iowa State Cyclones, an Iowa State team trying to win in this building for only the third time in program history. Cyclones at 9-6 in Big 12 play, 20-8 overall. They're looking like a lock for the NCAA tournament. However, for the Longhorns at 7-8 and only 2 games above 500, they are on the bubble. Desperation mode now after it went down like this on Wednesday in Waco. They had a 19-point lead. Baylor comes back with a 19-2 run. It goes to overtime. 10 seconds left. Texas up by a bucket. Jackson Hayes travels. Mario Kegler, career night to the line. Hits both. Baylor with the lead. A heave to Hayes. Fumbles around to the hot shooting James Beveris. No good. Baylor comes back to win. Shaka Smart says after the game, that's a heartbreaker, maybe the understatement of the night. With that, welcome to the Irwin Center. I'm Loa Galindo here with former Houston standout Reed Geddes. For the third time now, it looks like Texas is going without Kerwin Roach, still serving that university suspension. What's on the line for these guys today?
Look, I don't want to be over dramatic, but the entire season is on the line. It's certainly a postseason bid. They need to win 2 of the remaining 3. They have to win 1, right? And without Kerwin Roach, their leading scorer, their supposed team leader, not here with them. Man, this is a crucial game for the Texas Longhorns.
As you take a look at the tournament resume, what's keeping Texas in the picture at this point in time, those quadrant 1 wins. They've got a quartet of really good-looking wins. North Carolina, Kansas, and Kansas State, and Purdue as well.
Listen, no Big 12 team has ever gotten into the tournament